term not far away here at Martin Park, at John Flower Oval. 8 grade alls and batteries for doing the opening term for, and of course your O&M live broadcast on 3&E, brought to you by Wodonga. Francis, Brad Sprinkles Freak. We also have Sky Burgess for the first time boundary side today for Elite Building and Construction. Now we have had a little bit of rain, Sky, throughout the twos. What's the conditions like out on the ground?
It is just giving a slight little spit still. The ground is feeling a little bit heavy, I'm not going to lie. The middle of the ground is also a little bit torn up, so it might slow the boys down today. Any wind at all out there, Sky, to speak of? Yes, there is definitely a breeze. It's only slight at the moment, but it is there, and I feel like it will pick up on and off as the day goes on. And what way is that one blowing to, Sky? That is blowing to the hospital end of the ground. Alrighty, the hospital end of the ground here at Martin Park. It's a bit of a dreary, overcast day. Brad Sprinkles Freak, for those just joining us on our broadcast, both on O&M Snap Printing TV and, of course, on 1566 3NE. Who are we focusing on the 40-wing stat sheet today?
Yeah, for the Wodonga side of things, we've got Josh Mathy, Matt Wilson, Jack O'Sullivan, Adam Jorgensen and Noah Bradshaw. And for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, we've got Matt Munro, Mitch Del Bosco, Tom
of course, pretty good in his Myrtleford Alpine Saints return last week. He had the 20 disposals. I think 11 of those were contested and had a few clearances as well, Brad Freak. So he's going to be an important big body in there today. Sky Burgess down on the boundary for Elite Building and Construction. A tip from you, please.
I picked Bulldogs, yep.
Alrighty, the Wodonga Bulldogs for Sky. What about you, Brad?
Yeah, I went with the Doggies. I think it'll be, with the weather, it'll be a close game. A couple of goals in it.
Luke Francis?
I went with the Saints during the week, Pan, and I see no reason to change my tip early, and just looking forward to a close game.
I'm looking forward to a close game as well, Luke Francis. Look, I tipped the Myrtleford Alpine Saints like you in a bit of an upset. So I am going to go and stick with the Myrtleford Alpine Saints as well. And just a little bit of an upset. I'm not sure if our Wodonga Thirds boys down in front of us will like that too much. As Sky Burgess comes to the boundary.
I will just say that Mitchy Del Bosco from Myrtleford did win the toss, and he has picked a kick with the win first go.
He hasn't done the Trent Cotchin against Port Adelaide in that elimination final many years ago, Lukey Francis.
He hasn't, Panda, no.
Where he famously did choose to go against the breeze. So the umpires are just going to make us wait here for an official 2 p.m. start time, when we will get underway here at John Flower Oval, Martin Park. He holds the footy up. We're underway. Here's Lukey Francis.
Yeah, Mick Driscoll in the ruck for the Bulldogs. Toby Cossa for the Saints. And out in the middle they go, the Saints, through Maraka to the half-forward flank early. Here's Andrews in a fight and tussle with Curtis. Munro, though, tried to quickly get it on the boot on the left foot, down towards the arc of the 50 where it meets the boundary line. Murphydale sees it across the chalk, and we're going to have a boundary throw in. So overcast day in Wodonga. Brad Freak is on our stat sheet. We've got
first term for A-grade alls and batteries. Luke Francis, Blake Escott with you as a little throw-in was pretty shallow there from the boundary umpire. It's allowed to trickle over the boundary line by all players out there, and Myrtleford will have it tossed back into play. You'd say about 15 metres around from their goal. Broadcast side, Myrtleford are kicking to the hospital end of Martin Park. Here's Luke Francis for Wenger Automotive Group.
Yeah, ball about to be pitchforked back into play, Panda. Let's have a look here. Hospital end. Driscoll just missed it from the boundary throw-in. And there's Booker. And the ball has gone out of bounds.
Do you reckon we'll see this sort of day, Freaky, potentially early?
Oh, early I think you will. Obviously the bodies are fresh. I think as fatigue sets into the game, as the game opens up, the longer we go.
So a take two here, another boundary throw-in. Here we go again. Let's see how this one turns out. Gribben. Get a hand on the ball. Deneen burrowing in. Well done, and won the free kick for his team. That was good. So the Bulldogs in their D50 here, and they want to shift it across to Andrews. He's got it for the Bulldogs, just adjacent to the scoreboard, over the top to Driscoll. He goes for the short one to the outer side to Morrison. He wants to duck back inside. Squaring kick. and he gets Jacko Sullivan, who's co-coach of the Bulldogs this year.
Edge of the defensive square, kicks to half forward, penetrating 1-2 Myrtleford Alpine Saints blokes raffle it. Lockie Horrigan in a new jumper number this year, 19, takes the mark at true centre half. Here if it sits for Maraca, wasn't able to mark it, shuffles it back here to Damon Harrington, balks around his opponent, kicks it to half forward. Matty Munro on a searching lead. I'm not sure if he got the distance here maybe in these conditions, but he looks like he's going to go back, Brad Freak, and have a shot from, you'd say, 52 metres out slight angle.
Yeah, it was a great kick into the forward 50 there from Damon Harrington. Just put it into a bit of space, made Matty Munro run into that space and take that mark. As Sky touched on, with the wind behind him, he might be able to make the distance, but it's going to take a good kick from here.
Great to see him back in this SS&A Ovens and Murray. Former Werribee star. Pretty good set shot. I reckon he's got the first, Matty Munro. I reckon he's made the distance. It's a goal. Just the start that the Saints would have wanted, and Matt Munro as well. That's a steal line. First goal since 2022 after. Why he's a class act.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's had the 2 early disposals as well on the 40 wing stat sheet. 3 inside 50s to start this game inside the first 3.5 minutes for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. So the ball's really living it there, and the Dogs had one 4A forward there, but cut off by the Saints beautifully there by Lockie Horrigan, who played a good game last week against North as well.
Yeah, absolutely right, Freaky. So the maroon and white yet to head towards the Elm Street. Let's have a look. And there's a whistle. Infringement on the square. Sky, not sure if you picked that up for Elite Build.
A little bit, so Wodonga Bulldogs free kick.
Well done, Sky. Driscoll, oh, gee, not a good kick. Turns it over straight away. So here's East. And Jackson tried to shift it to centre wing on the far side. Andrews at the bottom here. Munro over the top of him. Wins it too. Well done. Came away from the contest. Got it to Curtis. Inside 50. Wide ball. And the mark is being taken by Lockie Murphydale.
This guy can play, Lukey.
And physical last week with Fraserdale in the middle. They just added a bit of aggression around the ball. Now he's probably about 50 out. Tricky angle. Now he's shooting towards the hospital end. Let's see what he can do with this. Lockie. He's not going to make the distance. Falls to the top of the square. Down in front, Munro. Quickly on the left boot. They come away.
Macca's time clock opening term for A grade. The week the Dogs cut off here. Get in front of it was Fraserdale half forward.
Correct, Panda. Oh, there for
20 metres of the.
That's it. So we just weave and try around it. Okay, so in here we've had a few minutes. Broad Panda. We're going to have another throw by around the dog. And cost Saint looking for and crazy freak.
Yeah, ball here. Quick dog for the hell this pretty Sky.
The weather.
Toss back in. This boundary umpire's earning a good bit of cash today. Cossa grabbed it out of the ruck to the running man, Munro, screws it across his body, Goldwood, and it's through for a behind. He's looking dangerous, Matty Munro. Dangerous indeed, tight in the pocket. So Myrtleford 1-1-7. Wodonga yet to score, I reckon yet to have an inside 50. That's on the game traffic scoreboard.
Booker, it's coming back for the Saints, hooks it back. Jorgensen sitting back in the hole, takes the mark. Now he wastes no time, he wants to play on quickly. And fisted away by the Saints, back inside 50. So I tell you what, they're repelling the challenge here. They're peppering the goals at the hospital land, but they've got to capitalise. Here's Matey, high ball up in the air. Let's have a look who's under that one. Comes down, Maraka just missed it. And then the Bulldogs pouring in. That's Jet Cassidy at the bottom of the pack. He's in the sleeves today. A couple of players in the sleeves. Pethbridge also for the Saints, and Jorgensen takes another mark inside D50. So let's see what they can do here. He doesn't rush this one. He goes to Liam Andrews and they switch it to the back pocket to Mitch Deneen. He wants to duck back inside. Handball over the top to Soroczynski. He's under a lot of pressure now. Dropped it. Andrews has to go again. So they're working overtime in the back line in the first few minutes of the opening term here, the Bulldogs. Saints applying the pressure, Freaky.
Yeah, 7 inside 50s to none on the 40-wing stat sheet in the first 8 minutes of this game. And Matty Munro's the one. He's had 5 disposals and kicked the only goal in this game so far.
They started hot last week against the Hoppers as well. They kicked 4 goals to none in that first term. So they've certainly started well here as well. Josh Maraka racking up the 40 wings disposals. High up and under inside 50. Ball able to hit the deck. Jorgensen also racking them up back there. It's because the ball's living in the Myrtleford Alpine Saints 50. Calogero. They've just got a wall up here. Good kick from Cossa. Finds Fraser Dale. He's too far out to score. Tied up against the boundary in front of the scoreboard, and he spots his brother, Lockie Murphy-Dale, who will have a shot from a similar position as about, 3 or 4 minutes ago, Brad Freak, and he didn't make the distance.
Yeah, really good composure there from Fraser Dale, just to lower the eyes and not bomb away. The Dogs' defence was set closer to the goal square, but really smart lead there by Lockie Dale there to be able to find the space, and good hit up by his brother Fraser.
So he's once again going to have to kick this one from about 47 or 48 metres. 45-degree angle. That one looks a lot better from Lockie Murphy-Dale. It's a behind, just faded late. So he's had 2 shots. He's missed both of them. Myrtleford go to 8. The Wodonga Bulldogs yet to score. That's on our game traffic scoreboard. And we have played in the opening term for A-grade Alls and Batteries.
10 minutes.
About 10 minutes, Lukey.
Yeah, about 10, Panda. Matt Munro with the opening goal for the Saints to the hospital end. Now let's have a look. Oh, gee, coming down was East. Spiteri got him high, but there wasn't much in it. Free kick there, but it certainly wasn't crude. Petherbridge just right as centre wing here for the Saints on the broadcast side. As we said, in the sleeves today, he's also sporting the headband. Here he goes, left foot down to the half-forward flank. Deneen flew up in top. Cossa was there as well. Morrison quickly on the boot, right foot, bouncing in front of Spiteri. Saints take it out through Tyler Harrington. And we're going to have a boundary throw in here. Opening turn brought to you by A-grade Alls and Batteries on O&M Live. As we said, the game traffic scoreboard sees the Saints 1-8, letting the Bulldogs yet to score here. We had an inside 50 yet for the Bulldogs, Freaky?
No, still haven't. And Myrtleford have had 9 so far in this game.
Yeah, they haven't made it way. They're down there, the Bulldogs.
Lockie Murphy-Dale just pushed into the midfield, left foot to half forward. Wodonga with all the numbers at ground level. Comes out here over the top of Spiteri. And it's another boundary throw in right in front of our commentary position and right in front of Sky Burgess boundary side for Elite Building and Construction.
I know I almost got a possession there, boys. Geez, Myrtleford are playing absolutely brilliantly set up behind the ball. Wodonga Bulldogs cannot get it in their 50.
And they still have that spare man there. It looks like it's Lockie Hourigan just off the contest. Fraser Dale up against Tom Miller. Jack O'Sullivan, the former Seymour man. Those two played against each other last year in the Goulburn Valley. Dale and Jack O'Sullivan. The Dogs off half back. Wilding flies high at half forward, not able to mark. Del Bosco lands in the arms here of Fraser Dale, Lockie Dale, sorry, and Diesel Beatty just went to bounce the ball. Tommy Johnson got a bit of contact, and he's won a free kick for holding the ball, and he bites one off in the middle to Mathy.
And Sky for Elite Building and Construction. We saw Tom Capillari come off. Looked to be an ankle injury for the Saints.
Yeah, I did. I was just watching him as he came off. He's actually gone down to seek treatment, so I will keep an eye on him as he comes back out.
Very good. Now the Bulldogs go inside 50 to the goal square. Oh, putting it down, winner Irving, a former Saint. Swinging around, though, was Gill, and Riley Gill has kicked the opening goal for the Bulldogs. So they hit back 8 plays 6 here on the game traffic scoreboard in Wang, Corran, Albury. Game traffic, the McDonald's time clock. Oh, we've probably got about 12 minutes, 13 minutes in the opening term.
Yeah, well, their first inside 50 of the game there on the 40-wing stat sheet. A really good contest by Kyle Winter-Irving down there in the goal square. And Riley Gill as a small half-forward, medium-sized player at the right place at the right time. And a really nice right-footed snap to put the first major on the board for the Dogs. Obviously, they really needed to get that one. The ball's been living in Myrtleford's half of the ground. So to be able to get a goal on the scoreboard early is going to help them.
So he was really impressive early, and we got another centre square infringement here.
Yeah, Myrtleford had 5 in the square. Beatty was just a little bit late to get out.
How does that happen twice in a row?
Yeah.
You rarely see one in a game. We've seen 2 in the opening term here on 3&E's O&M Live. Tommy Johnson pumps the Dogs inside 50 again. That was brave then from Del Bosco. Quick snap out of the pack. It's going to land in the pocket. Jet Cassidy with 2 Saints players to beat out of bounds for a throw-in. Deep inside Wodonga's attack. So those inside 50 numbers again, freaky.
Yeah, 2 to Wodonga now, 9 to Myrtleford inside the first 13 minutes of this game.
And Munro with the goal for the Saints and Gill with the goal for the Dogs as Luke Francis will take over here for Wangaratta Motor Group. Opening term, we've played 13 minutes. Macca's time clock.
Elm Street end, Panda. Cosser over the top. Del Bosco hurriedly on the boot. High up and under, just right of centre wing, down in front of our broadcast spot is Lockie Murphy-Dale. Gill going through, whistle, holding free kick. And it's going to go the way of the Saints here.
Fraser Dale.
That's it. He's got the ball now.
Oh, careful. Matey just returned that one with a bit of heat, Lukey.
He did, Panda. Bit of fire in that one. So here goes Fraser. Oh, direct turnover to Matt Wilson, just sitting back there at centre half back in the blue boots. And goes very short to Soroczynski. They're on the true half-back flank. This game's starting to settle now. Gill takes the mark and then off. And they move it to Noel Bradshaw. Now on to Jet Cassidy. What can they build from here? High ball, danger kick for the Saints defence. Going up. Oh, gee, it was Johnson, was it? And then Redcliffe now got his head taken off. Yep, free kick. And Ethan will get it, Freaky.
Yeah, he did the right thing there. He just put his head over the footy and won the free kick there. It was good to see for the Dogs, Jet Cassidy involved in that build-up play. Looks like he might be playing a little bit higher up the ground. Felt like last week, Panda, you were there as well. He probably got a little bit stuck closer to goal. So you need your dynamic players like Jet Cassidy, Ethan Redcliffe, Noel Spiteri to get into the game a little bit higher up the ground. So keep it on this week.
Here he goes, the live wire. It's been a season with Midder last year, back at the kennel. Orange boots today for Ethan. Left foot sends it towards home. You want to hook that too much, he has. So it's 1 behind. So 8 plays 7 here on the game traffic scoreboard. It sees the Saints up. And we're about halfway through the first term here, Panda. The advertising on the scoreboard flashing up there. So can't quick up the time. Here we go. 15 gone on the McDonald's time clock.
Booker just overran the footy, but out the back here is Riley Calveen, the former Warrowley coach. He sockers it off the ground. Simon Curtis has an open 50. He snaps it on goal. It's dribbling. And Dan Wortman safely runs it over the boundary line for a throw-in. 1 length of the ground to the other. Good transition, though, Brad Freak. Good signs for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just about to say the same thing, Pandy. Just one part of their game that they can get going, they can be really dangerous today, the Saints.
Saints by point. 1-2 plays 1-1. Opening term for A-grade oils and batteries. Played about 15 on the Macca's time clock. Toss back in. Johnson doing the ruck work against Curtis, who ekes out a little kick. It's going to land the way here of Will Bradshaw. Good, strong tackle. It's been deemed high by the umpire against Lockie Murphy-Dale. And a 50, says Mason Ring for back chat. The Mason says none of that. And Will Bradshaw has a 50-metre free kick for the Dogs. It's going to take him right up to the middle of the ground almost.
It's a good 50.
It is indeed. He hand passes it off to Jorgensen. Different role for him today at half-back. We'll get Freaky to touch on that soon. Matey shoots it out wide to Deneen. They got the overlap. It's in the arms here of Jack Matey on debut.
Yeah, there he goes, Panda, the brother of Josh Matey, and they go to the arc of the 50. And then O'Sullivan tried to squeeze it out the back, and it's marked by Bethbridge for the Saints. So he's wanting to come to broadcast side. Nearly got it to Tyler Harrington. He dropped the mark. Ferguson out the back. Charlie Morrison brings him to the deck. There's Miotti back to Maraka. So a lot of possessions in close there, and they go out the back to Hurrigan. So they have conceded some ground, but they still have possession. Short. Back to Jackson East.
Raining sky heavily, is it at the moment, or are we just seeing things?
It is raining. It is only spitting though.
Okay.
It's that little bit annoying rain.
This is Murphy Dale. How's Tom Capillari now, Sky? Can you see him down there?
He's yet to come out of the change rooms, actually. He did grab at his right.
Well, we've just lost you there, Sky.
Yeah, right ankle, I think Sky's about to say. As Del Bosco shifts it down the outer side. They're out here, the Saints. Here goes Simon Curtis inside 50, over the head of Munro. Bouncing ball, Riccardi. It's going to beat him. Soroczynski goes back in front of Booker, and the ball has gone out of bounds. If you just tuned in to 15.66 3&E O&M Live, the Saints lead here by a point, 8-7. We've gone 17 on the McDonald's time clock. Here's Blake Escott.
So the Dogs 1-1. Myrtleford 1-2. They've certainly started strongly, the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Not much representation on the scoreboard. Good tackle from Booker on Matty Wilson. Not sure he got much of a handball on that one. That's what Booker's saying to the umpire. And we'll have it balled up 30 metres out for Myrtleford Alpine Saints goal. We'll go around the grounds very soon for Wangaratta Mazda. Great supporters of O&M Live 3&E footy in 2024 as the Dogs go out really wide. Out of defence, East, who started pretty well for the Saints, just loops it over the top. Little grubber inside forward 50. Murphy Dale up against Greenhill. Matty Wilson working hard in defence. His kick turned over. And it's been marked by Sparks for the Saints. And he just bombs a long one. Really, really high. Big pack of players. Charlie Morrison not able to mark. Quick snap on goal from Riccardi. It looked all right. And getting back and touching it over the line was Liam Andrews through for a minor. The Saints 1-3, Bulldogs 1-1. They lead by a couple of points. Game traffic scoreboard opening term for A-grade oils and batteries.
Liam Andrews from the back pocket. And he hits Will Bradshaw. Will, squaring kick here to Wortman. Does almost a 360 on the boot. Very wide, but finds Charlie Morrison. That's good. That's okay. Takes the mark in front of Beatty Diesel. And they want to cut in, boys. The kick on. No. Fraser Dale's taken the mark for the Saints. Read it beautifully. So now the Doggies have to turn attack into defence. Good fist away by Greenhill on the half-back flank and then receives it back. Good footy. And here's Soroczynski running across half-back and gets it to the half-forward line now for the Doggies. Spiteri takes the mark. Redcliffe's got a mile of space down there. Didn't get the best of kicks from Noel Spiteri. Tries to keep it in play. Redcliffe played for the free kick. Del Bosco. And they get it out here, the Saints. Good contest between Gill and also Miotti down here. Gill wins it. Left foot swings it around, but sitting back there is Ferguson, and he's taken the mark from the Saints, and here they go, Panda.
Plays on straight away. Kicks to Riley Booker, and if he gets a move on, he's got an overlap runner here in Jackson East. His kick, held a long time up in the air, and East just had his head ripped off. Almost 50 metres because he marked it right in the centre of Martin Park. Goes out wide. Good play once again from Myrtleford. Lockie Murphy-Dale marks. Too far out to score on the half-forward flank. Kicks it into the pocket. Watch for Munro out the back. Didn't quite grab it. Roving Riccardi. He's so clever, Brodie Riccardi. Is it through for a goal? They're conferring here on the goal line. The boundary umpire, the central umpire, and the goal umpire. And I reckon it's going to be given a goal. It is. So Brodie Riccardi, a wonderful quick snap. Myrtleford got their second. 15 plays 7 on the game traffic scoreboard, and we've seen that so many times in this competition from Brodie Riccardi, Brad Freak.
Yeah, we certainly have. I think last year he was probably one of the most improved players across the whole competition. He took his game to another level, made the interleague side as well. But we saw there how Myrtleford want to play their footy. Got the ball in the middle of the ground to Riley Booker, and he also had Diesel Beatty in the middle as well, running into a bit of space, as well as he did Jackson East. And then they were able to get the ball in their forward line and get the little fellas involved and be able to snap a nice goal there. Probably deserve that goal, the Saints too. I reckon. Get a little bit more ascendancy on the scoreboard.
Yeah, so goals to the Saints and Matt Munro and Brodie Riccardi, and the single to the Bulldogs through Riley Gill.
As we take this free kick, boys, I'll just update you. Young Tom Capillari from Myrtleford's just run out there. He said he just rolled his ankle and he's got it taped up. Now he's good to go.
Sky Burgess for Elite Building and Construction. Half forward, here's Mathy. So that's half back now for the Bulldogs. Soroczynski. Get his hands on the ball early in the first term. And then Jack Mathy tried to get it to Josh, didn't come off. Here goes Diesel Blady, not the best of kicks. Calvin goes by him. And then Liam Andrews sees the ball Out of bounds. Let's go to Freaky on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Yeah, Myrtleford's still absolutely dominating the inside 50, 16-7 in this first quarter. They're just getting repeat entries, but probably haven't got the ascendancy on the scoreboard that they fully deserve at the moment.
We'll go around the ground soon for Wangaratta Mazda. Round 2 in the SS&A Ovens and Murray. Matt Munro tried to shake off Sorochinski. We'll go around the grounds now with Brad Freak for Wangaratta Mazda.
Yeah, Albury 15 lead the Wodonga Raiders 8, Wangaratta Rovers 24 lead Corowa 7, North Albury 13 trail Wangaratta 16, and Yarrawonga 13 to Lavington yet to score.
So a couple of close games there that we'll monitor. We're going to have this throw-in repeated. About 65 out from Myrtleford's goal, who have certainly come to play, and we saw them start so strongly last week. So lead by 8 points. In the opening term for A-grade oils and batteries, we've played 22 minutes on our Macca's time clock. Comes out here to the wing, and in the end, Horrigan just runs it over the boundary line. Brad Freak, 40 winks.
Yeah, Josh Matthews definitely started this game better than last week. He's already up to the 8 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet in this first quarter, and Lockie Murphy-Dale is the leading disposal getter for the Alpine Saints. He's had 7.
Well done, Freaky. Here we go. Jack Mathy. He's had a couple of possessions here. First term, Gill, then over the top, Wilding comes out and then just gets rid of a Saint and then sends it in forward. Petherbridge at the back. Well done. Clear fist to Ace Patiri, though, ends up with it. Left foot around the body. Coming down, Ferguson was there, so too winner Irving. Oh. And then Ferguson, hello. Nearly going at that with Hurrigan. So both of these teams, as we know, coming off losses in round 1. The Dogs suffered a big defeat down at Mulwala on Easter Sunday to the reigning premiers, the Pigeons, and the Saints. Well, they went close against the Hoppers up at the McNamara Reserve on their home turf, but couldn't quite get there. And at the moment, it's 15-7 on the gain traffic scoreboard. Centre wing on the far side, a long way away from our commentary position. Now there's Capillari, so he's back on, which is great. Maraka put it down. Mathy came in hard. Good contest out there. They're fighting away for the pill. Driscoll on to Jack O'Sullivan. They go forward here to the Elm Street end. Good footy into Wilding. And the Dogs will have a shot from about 40 out there, Freaky.
Yeah, they certainly will. It's amazing what happens when you get the footy in the hands of the blokes that are going to use it really well. Jack O'Sullivan really showed his class there, didn't he? Broke away from the pack and at full tilt was able to hit Oscar Wilding lace out. So big kick for Oscar to try to get some confidence in himself. Probably didn't have his best game last week like a lot of the doggies. So if he can get an early one, it'll give him full confidence.
Big free Oscar Wilding, no, not the best kick at all. He's shifted it left and's gone through for 1 behind. So 15 plays 7 on the gain traffic scoreboard here. Opening term at Martin Park. Here's Blake Escott for the Wangaratta Motor Group.
So Del Bosco goes short here to Calagero from Shepparton. Shep Swans, him and Diesel Beatty. He goes really long. Late stages opening term. Big pack forms. Murphy Dale with a clearing kick. He'd want touch here and he finds it in the end. We'll have it tossed back in, right on centre wing, far side of the ground. Les Cheesley side of the ground here at the John Flower Oval. Sky Burgess on the boundary for Elite Building and Construction. We got Blake Panderescott with you and Lukey Francis for Wangaratta Motor Group and Brad Freak, your commentary team for 40 winks. Boundary umpires done a lot of work today. Noah Bradshaw came through and put the hip and shoulder into Miotto. O'Sullivan fired it out wide to Tom Miller, who got a high one. And the umpire said free kick. That one's against Fraser Dale on true centre wing. They'd love a late one here, Luke Francis, because they have been the second team today, the Wodonga Bulldogs, to start this opening term.
Spot on, Panda. And there goes Miller, inside 50. Ferguson just stepping back in the hole. Stood tall for his Saints team and took a great mark. So well done to him. Now, what's he got on? It looks like he's going to go, gee, that was a shocker.
Burner.
Absolute terrible kick, not to worry. Mark was great. The kick, not so. Here's O'Sullivan. Spears one out to Jorgensen. Jorgensen short ball, misses Josh Mathy and ends up with Petherbridge. So he's playing a good game back here, featured in the best for the Saints in round 1. Centre wing contest here, Riccardi. And he's up against Morrison. What a beauty that was. Out of bounds it goes. Left to centre wing on the broadcast side. Let's go back down to Sky Burgess for Elite Building and Construction.
Yeah, Wodonga Bulldogs are really just starting to take the sting out of Myrtleford's dominance, aren't they? That possession footy is really working today.
Certainly is. Well called there, Sky Burgess. They've certainly got themselves back in this contest. Late stages opening term. Tommy Johnson against Cossa. I don't think either one a hit out. Really good tackle applied on Noah Bradshaw, who had one arm held by Jackson East, right in front of the little scaffold set up here at Martin Park. And we've got a ball up. 27 minutes played, Macca's time clock. Fraser Dale, did he cop one high? He did. And he's going to win a late free kick as Toby Cossa comes in to remonstrate with two dogs. Like that from the big fella. He's got a bit of sizzle. Fraser Dale, he's going to pump it in long. Late stages, kicks it to the pocket. Lots of players around the footy. Out the back here, Soroczynski. Matty Munro runs him over the boundary line. And we'll have it thrown back in. 20 around from the Myrtleford Alpine Saints goal. Luke Francis, you feel like 27 minutes gone, they're the only team that can score.
Yeah, that's right, Banders. So just 3 goals scored in the opening term. 2 to the Saints and 1 to the Bulldogs. So we must be right on siren time here. Very close. Hospital land inside 50. Riccardi got spun around. Miller brought him to ground. And free kick. It's been won by the Bulldogs. So you'd think that would be it. There it is. Is that a new siren this year?
I like it.
Martin Park.
Bit of heat in this one, Lukey. A little bit of heat in it.
Yeah, bit of fire. That's it on OLM Live. This is round 2. The first term was brought to you by A-grade oils and batteries. And at the first time break, it is the Saints 15 leading the Bulldogs 8. This is OLM Live, and remember, on OLM Live, Brad Freak, you will not miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Shaping lives through nursing? Building communities through community services? Maybe caring for animals through veterinary science? With GoTAFE by your side, you can make it happen. From agriculture, hospitality, health and wellbeing, trades and education, to hair and beauty or creative, learn real skills for real jobs and careers right now. With GoTAFE, you've got this. Search GoTAFE today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community. .0%
alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
price until half-time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half-price selected beers until half-time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.
Wodonga. O&M Live on 3NE.
Overcast conditions and a bit showery here at Martin Park, John Flower Oval in the SS&A Ovens and Murray as the Myrtleford Alpine Saints hold a 7-point lead over Wodonga, 15-8, in what was a pretty good opening term. A lot of stoppages, but Myrtleford would be happy with that opening term. Blake Penderescott with you. Luke Francis, Brad Sprinkles, Freak and Sky Burgess. We'll check in with Sky soon as we do go to Brad Freak for our Cavalier Homes quarters best.
Yeah, for the Wodonga Bulldogs, we'll start with in that first quarter. I thought Josh Mathy and Adam Jorgensen were really good. A couple of guys that probably a little bit down on what we know that they can do last weekend, but Josh Mathy able to get himself in the middle of the ground, get going. And it looks like, as you picked up, Panda, looks like Adam Jorgensen might be playing a little bit just behind the ball. He's such a beautiful user of the footy, so get him in want to get him his hands on the footy and be able to use it as much as he can. And if we have a look at the 40 Winks stat sheet in that first quarter, as we said, Josh Mathy had the 9 disposals and Adam Jorgensen had 7. They're the leading disposal getters for the Wodonga Bulldogs. If we have a look at the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, we had 8 disposals for Lockie Murphy-Dale, who started the game really well, and his brother Fraser had 6. Also did Matty Munro as well, who touched on, who's one of the quarters best there for the Alpine Saints. Inside 50s is probably the one glaring discrepancy. Earlier, especially early in that quarter, it was 9-0 early in that first term. Ended up being 17-11 in favour of the Saints. So the Wodonga Bulldogs' defence, as they did last week, I felt has held up really well under an onslaught of pressure. Just need that midfield group to really nullify some of that influence, because if they are getting the ball in there so often, the Saints, they will be able to hit the scoreboard eventually.
Sky Burgess was snooping around the huddles, as she does so beautifully for Elite Building and Construction. What was some of the feedback by the coaches at quarter time?
I just decided to go over to the Wodonga Bulldogs huddle at quarter time and just see how they would respond to Myrtleford's dominance. And they spoke a lot about things we'd picked up on, the couple of spare men behind the ball and just being aware of that overlap run that Myrtleford have, and talking about when they're bringing it out, instead of trying to fight the traffic, getting that 45 chip and then getting a deeper entry in.
Yeah, certainly the overlap run and getting out the back was on display for Myrtleford in that opening term.
There's a couple of passages there. Myrtleford probably got their game going a little bit more than what the Dogs did. We saw a few times a few Myrtleford players running through the middle of the ground unopposed.
Second quarter underway for Jayco Albury Wodonga. The Saints by 7. Cossa with the hit out. Jackson East with the clearance. Maraka in there as well. Just missed his hand pass at the crucial moment, and the Dogs go forward. High up and under. Big Tommy Johnson just allows it to bounce in front of him. Bradshaw with it, don't argue. Goes back to Tommy Johnson, but they're going backwards to go forwards. Kicks it on the left foot. Fist there from Hourigan. Maraka started this game pretty well. Gives it off to Tom Sparks, who was backtracking as he kicked it on the left foot, and it's gone out of bounds. Free kick for the Wodonga Bulldogs out in the full. Looks like Will Bradshaw's going to bring this one back in, Luke Francis.
Let's have a look, Panda. So in he goes up towards the top of the goal square. Out the back it goes. Mitch Del Bosco hurriedly on the boot. This is bouncing towards the boundary line in front of the clubhouse, and it does go out. So we will have a boundary throw in here. 15 playing 8. Early stages. We've only gone 60 seconds on the McDonald's time clock here. Second term. Penderescott up at the back of the grandstand with Brad Freak and Luke Francis. And we've got Sky Burgess on the boundary today. This is round 2 of the O&M. Let's have a look. Bound point. Costa, clear fist away. Going after it east. Mathy hot on his tail as he swings it around towards the danger zone. Winner Irving, great mark, second attempt. That was good. A Mawson's concrete play of the day, I reckon, Panda. Sky Burgess, that was nice.
That's absolutely strong hands. That was extremely impressive. He had about 3 Myrtleford people around him and still beat him.
Yeah, so Kyle Winner Irving actually played in the Saints Guernsey last year. So he finds himself in the Wodonga Bulldogs Guernsey round to Martin Park. Let's have a look. Kyle Winter Irving steers it straight through the middle, and don't they get to him. So the Bulldogs, that makes it 15, I think, to 14. So they trail by a point here, early stages, second term. Let's go to you, Freaky, on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Yeah, a couple of early inside 50s to the Dogs to start this quarter. And Josh Matthew again there, as we touched on, who was one of the quarter's best for Cavalier Homes in that first term. Got that quick kick in, but a really nice, strong mark there by Kyle Winter Irving. Would have probably felt pretty good, I'd say, against your old team as well, Penny, getting that one over the line and just getting one on the board.
So Kyle Winter Irving on the board here for Wodonga. I was about to say his old side. So a good finish, 14 plays 15 on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. Jack Mathy on debut, just had to sit under the football. Myrtleford come away with it through Harrington. Good kick to half forward. This one's been marked here by Jackson East. From Bustleton over in WA. Represented the West Australian countryside last year, Lukey Francis. Him and Zach Pethbridge. As Lockie Murphy-Dale runs around Jack Mathy on the mark. Gets to 50 and kicks it to the hot spot. There's a free kick here for a hold, and it looks like it's going to go the way of the Myrtleford Alpine Saints freaky.
Yeah, it does. I think it must have been Daniel Wortman there at the back of the pack. Must have just had a hold of Brodie Riccardi's jumper there, but in a dangerous position too. Now, that can happen sometimes with Lockie Murphy-Dale's entry to the 15-20 metres out. You can just get a little bit of panic in the defenders.
So Brodie Riccardi's already kicked one very smart goal. He's lined up 20 metres out directly in front. Nails it. No mistake. So the Myrtleford Alpine Saints get their third. 3-3-21. The Dogs are 2-2-14. That is on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard as we go back down to Sky Burgess for Elite Building and Construction.
We're in for a good game today, aren't we, boys? I'm loving it by both teams. They're both really adjusting to the weather, to the other team. It's going to be a great game.
Yeah, absolutely right, Sky. So a goal to either team to start the second term here. One to Kyle Winter Irving for the Bulldogs and another to Brodie Riccardi for the Saints. So we come back to the middle. Let's have a look here. Umpire about to send it up again. So Costa and Driscoll, as the game started, Costa clearly won the ruck contest. Matt Wilson picks it up for the Dogs, though. Ends up with Driscoll, well handled. Then out to Will Bradshaw, quickly on the boot. They send it forward towards the hospital land through Redcliffe's hands. Spiteri hooks it around right foot. He's missed. He knew it too, Noah. He threw his head back. He's so dangerous around the sticks, Freaky.
Yeah, the Milkman, he is very dangerous down there. He'll be sniffing around the goal, but he is very crafty in that forward half there. You give him half a chance and he can generally take it. So, yeah, don't want to give him too many opportunities.
CMV truck and bus scoreboard leads the Saints 3-3-21. The Bulldogs 2-3-15. Almost gone 5 here. McDonald's time clock second term.
Did he question the Milkman last week, the nickname?
He was curious, put it that way. He was curious. I don't understand why he couldn't figure it out, but
he does play an opposing sport in soccer as well, and he loves that. As Murphy-Dale won a free kick, he marked it in the end. He kicked a half forward over the head of Matt Munro. This is now Wilson for the Dogs on centre wing. Good kick to half forward in a contest, Wilding and Del Bosco. Murphy-Dale loops a hand pass over the top. Big Toby Cossa came through as well. Wouldn't like to get in his way. Jackson East on centre wing, kicks it long down the line, and it's out in the full. Out in the full. It's going to be a free kick here to Wodonga at half back. The captain, Charlie Morrison. They lead by 6. The Myrtleford Alpine Saints, 21-15 on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard as we tick up towards the 6-minute mark. Macca's time clock, second term.
Dan Wortman, back pocket for the Bulldogs. Goes to Will Bradshaw, and Bradshaw keeps it low. Munro intercepted it. Got it on the second attempt. Now cleans up left foot going in. Good vision. Oh, Riccardi went through his hand. Wortman's going to get a second crack at it. Riccardi comes back at him. Flicked out the back. A throw, Freaky, as you said. Just didn't come off. And it's going to be turned over here. So Riccardi has a chance on goal. And swings around. Right foot going for home. Brodie might have 3. No. Across the face. And that one has gone through for a minor score. So 22 plays 15 here on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. Early stages, second term, Freaky. What are our inside 50s like now, mate?
Yeah, it's 3-all to start this second term. Obviously, the Dogs able to get a little bit more equal, be a bit more equal in that part of the game after the first quarter was dominated by the Saints.
Adam Jorgensen comes out wide here to Charlie Morrison, who got around his opponent pretty easily. Pumps it down centre wing, broadcast side. Calogero first onto the pill. onto the scene there, and it trickles over the line. In the mud, the ball as well. And we're just forward to centre wing here.
Probably not where you want it to end
No.
up on a day like today, is it, Panda?
Not at all. It's like when the ball gets hit into the tarps, the cricket ground. Toss back in. 7-point lead to the Saints. Murphy Dale. Good hand pass here to Fraser Dale. Kicks to half forward. Munro just cleverly tapped it down to the rover in Maraca. Jams it on the boot. Booker up against Soroczynski. Booker looks like he's dragged that one back in. And we've got a ball up 30 around from the Myrtleford Alpine Saints goal as we go down to Sky Burgess for Elite Building and Construction.
The boys are just starting to come through the rotations now. Myrtleford have got Riccardi off for a breather, so it'll be interesting to see who's going to lead out in that forward line now.
Ball going out of bounds here. We're going to have a boundary throw-in on the arc of the 50, the Elm Street end. Now, Freaky, we saw Toby Cossa and Tom Johnson really having a go at each other whilst Panda was calling there. They wanted a piece of each other.
They're just introducing each other to each other, I thought, out there. Look, really nice stuff to see on the footy field.
Yeah, that's it. Now, let's have a look. Driscoll, Booker went through his hands. And then off the ground from Soroczynski accidentally. Ball out of bounds adjacent to
It
the
is getting a bit
grandstand
heated
here.
out there, guys. You got Mitch Del Bosco and Oscar Wilding that have been going at it for a good 5 minutes off the ball as well. So some sting in the game now, bit of spice.
And what are the rotations like, Sky? Not as hot as round one today and round two?
No, they're just consistent. So they're lower than normal, but consistently coming through.
Sky dominating on the boundary for Elite Building and Construction. As Murphy Dale just continues to rack them up. Big scruff in front of us. You watch that one, Freaky. Inside 50, the Saints go. Simon Curtis in amongst it. Booker put his head over the footy. Soroczynski and Calagero go on with it on centre wing right in front of us. There's certainly a spot fires everywhere, Freaky.
Yeah, it certainly is. You'd like to see that, though. Obviously, round two, a lot of passion in the game. You don't want to be 0-2, especially these two sides will be fighting out for 50, I think, at the back end of the year.
Yeah, let's get it on. So Gribben over the back. Calagero, there's Ollie Greenhill going through. Jack O'Sullivan trying to get it up to Josh Mathy on the boot. Now Riley Gill's after it. So too is Damon Harrington. Andrews joins the contest. Miotti. Gill again got swung around by Miotti. Might be gone here. Had it for half an hour, I reckon. Mathy, then over the top here to Miller. Over to Jack O'Sullivan. Gee, they're moving it quickly. Then Matt Wilson gets a hand to it. O'Sullivan again. Well done. Good follow-up play to Johnson. Cosson misses in. Johnson's away. Here they go. Hospital Land. Let's have a look. Winner Irving. Good fist from Petherbridge. Good passage of play from both teams. Freaky. Great O&M footy.
Yeah, it definitely was. As we touched on before, the Cossa and Tommy Johnson introducing himself, but that's the perfect way for Tommy Johnson to play that. Just beat him on the footy, beat him to the footy and be the first one there.
Game traffic scoreboard, Saints by 7. 9 minutes gone, Macca's time clock. Second term action for Jaco Wodonga here on O&M Live. Fraser Dale just spun out of that contest beautifully. Sends a high one to centre wing. 4 players fly. Jai Gribben in there. Morrison. And now Miller. Good pressure from Capillari. The Dogs go inside 50. Redcliffe! A Mawson's concrete mark of the day. Backing back into the pack. Put his arms up, said thank you very much, you'll line up 35 out slide angle.
Yeah, that was a really strong mark there from Ethan Redcliffe. As you beautifully called there, Pan, he just went back with the fly of the ball, took a really nice mark over his head. And, you know, it's been really important for his confidence to get this one through the big sticks. Obviously, he only kicked the 1 goal late last week. So if he can hit the scoreboard now, just get a bit of confidence and build himself into the match.
With the blonde hair and the orange boots, he's certainly got a bit of sizzle, Ethan Redcliffe. Comes in, and he's hooked it. So 2 points for the man that kicked 110 last year for Midder. 2 behinds, so Wodonga wasting a few chances here. 16 plays 22 on the CV truck and bus scoreboard. Second term, here's Lukey Francis.
Del Bosco. And goes to Murphy-Dale Panther, so he's just under the scoreboard here, Martin Park.
His numbers, Freaky?
He's up to 13 disposals for the game.
Back to Mitch. That must have only just gone the required distance now. He likes what he sees, switches on. Gee, he had to get around Winner Irving. Spiteri too tall for him. Saints have it. And this is Tyler Harrington. Steers it into Del Bosco. Now the pressure's on. Mathy coming at him. He tried to get it out the side. Spiteri. O'Sullivan, gee, he's playing a great game, the co-coach. Spears one in. Well done to East. Getting back for the Saints. Saves the day. Wants to shift it out wide here to Lee Murphy-Dale. Now, they've got something on out wide here. It's Miotti in the blue boots. What can they work forward here? Down the outer side they go. Mark Wilson put down. Capillari, his ankle looks fine now. Left foot sends it in towards the Elm Street end. Not the best. He kicks Morrison on the boot. The O&M fullback gets it out of bounds. So on the scoreboard at the moment, we've got the Saints 3-4-22 leading the Bulldogs 2-4-16 thanks to CMV Truck and Bus.
Jackson East looks a player, I reckon. He looks like he's going to add something to that Myrtleford Alpine Saints midfield. So they might have found someone there. As Cossa does really well, tighten the clinches. Out to Capillari. Floats it inside 50. Riccardi up against Ollie Greenhill. Riccardi's already got 2. Tries to get around Greenhill. Great tackle from Ollie. Riccardi tried to get around him. Ollie said no siree, and it's a ball. It's a free kick for holding the ball. That's why he used to be a captain. Gives it off to his bloke who replaced him, Charlie Morrison. Interesting hand pass, put Miller under pressure. Driscoll goes out really wide here. Andrews has got a great left slipper. Goes out wide to Mathy, who goes short, so they've transitioned the footy to the other side of the ground. Mathy to Mathy, and that's what you love to hear. Saints by 6.
Yeah, you do, Panda. The brothers combining. Ball out of bounds. Or is it just marked inside the line? It is. Yeah, Jet Cassidy's taken it. Umpire was happy to pay it. Down the line he goes to the half-full flank. Wilding got hands to it, put it down. Redcliffe looking dangerous. Over the top, O'Sullivan. There's a whistle. Is it coming back? Sky Burgess.
A little bit of milk on it. He was held by the jumper and threw the hands out and did a spin to draw the free as a good forward does.
Yeah. In the meantime, advantage has been Tate's. Patiri's taken the mark in the forward pocket. Plays on, kicks a goal. Niles Patiri has jagged one. So 28 plays 16 now on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. And at the McDonald's time clock, what have we got here? Just waiting for it. It'll flick up on the scoreboard very shortly with our advertising. And that'll come up. And I actually gave that goal to the Saints. Of course, it was a Bulldogs goal. So we're all square, the ledger. 22 all here at Martin Park, Freaky.
Yeah, good play there. Obviously from a free kick, just Noah and Jack O'Sullivan just being match aware and just kept the game going. And a really, really good mark from Noah in the pocket. And as we touched on before, he's a really dangerous finisher inside that forward 50 and took full advantage there with a snap around the corner and put that mage through the middle for the Dogs.
So back in the middle of the ground here. They kicked 2 of the last 3 of the Dogs. 3N's O&M live, all thanks to Wang Motor Group. Hand pass in the middle of the ground, put Gill under pressure. Munro chased him down. Wilson just reached out and intercepted brilliantly with those big long levers. And he grubbers it to half forward. Spiteri. Here's Calagero for the Saints. Streams away and pumps it to half forward. Front position Morrison dropped the chest mark in the end. Simon Curtis tried to push him off the footy. Morrison leads the charge. Tries to keep it in play. Matt Wilson picks it up and he's taken over the boundary line. True centre wing, right in front of Sky Burgess for Elite Building and Construction.
Yep, Simon Curtis did absolutely well, didn't he? He was almost out and he said, I don't think so, and put him into the boundary line.
Freaky will go around the grounds for Wangaratta Mazda.
Yeah, Albury 48 lead the Raiders 21. Wangaratta Rovers 42 lead Corowa 14. 1 point the margin between Wangaratta and North Albury 29 to 28 in that game.
Noah Bradshaw got brought down by Lockie Murphy. Dale Fraser-Dale in the meantime inside 50. Big double fist away by Mitch Steneen. So gather round. South Australia buzz at the moment with all the footy being played over in the southern state. Now, Freaky, what do you got there?
Yeah, and just in the other game in the ovens between Lavington and Yarrawonga. Yarrawonga 28 lead Lavington 9.
Thanks to Wangaratta Mazda. Great sponsors of O&M Live. Now that was East. And then Matt Wilson hacks it out of the fence. He's going to be coming back. Gribben's taken the mark. So they're on their half-forward flank here, the Saints. Bulldogs have got back, clogged up the space. Let's have a look what happens. Going in, and then juggle marked by Deneen.
I reckon Maraca had a bit of that.
Yeah, interesting. Panda, Bulldogs with possession, and they go to Jorgensen.
Yeah, scores are even. 22 apiece, 15 played. Macca's time clock, and I reckon Tommy Johnson has given away a free kick off the ball, Brad Freak. It's going to be a Myrtleford ball.
Yeah, I didn't actually see it, Panda. I was actually writing down the stat for Adam Jorgensen. And then
Did you see it, Sky?
He put down Maraca.
Yeah, I think he just gave him a good bump off the ball, but Maraca hit the deck, so.
Well, Maraca's gone inside 50, and Riley Calvin has plucked a mark out. He was sandwiched between 2 dogs. but it landed in the lap, and the former Rowley coach can line up for his first goal for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, Freaky.
Yeah, this would be a big goal here. Obviously, a big turnaround there. The Dogs had the footy moving out of their defensive half, and Myrtleford be able to get one back on the scoreboard. With Dogs probably having a little bit more of the ascendancy in this second term. 45-degree angle, 30 metres out. He's kicked 47 goals in the O&K the last couple of years. Now he's got his first in the tricolours for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Riley Calveen with a steal line goal that A contender. The Saints by 6, 28 plays 22, and that is on the C&V Truck and Bus scoreboard. It's just those fine margins in games like this. Free kick going back the other way when you had the ball moving out your defensive 50, and a really strong mark there by Riley Calveen, and a really good finish as well to get Myrtleford one that they probably got off the back of not having a lot of momentum in this second term after having pretty much all the momentum in that first term.
Okay, back in the centre of Martin Park. Let's see who can win the ball at the coalface. And Fraser Dale just sort of flipped it over his head. And then Driscoll got a 4 for the Dogs here inside 50. Oh, going over the top was Jet Cassidy. Wilding has a crack at it. Petherbridge on his hammer. And ball's going to find its way out of bounds out over in the pocket. So, as we said, a little overcast. The sun trying to break through here, isn't it?
Breaking up, Lukey. Check the radar. Looks good.
Yeah, no, like it. The boundary umpire has it. Back into play, Ferguson. Johnson all over him. And Fraser Dale turned around blindly. Left foot. Getting up was Will Bradshaw. He's gone to the deck. Murphy Dale on the turf. Umpire's going to call this. He'll have it. Ball up.
So in this second term, we've gone goal for goal. So it's a tight contest. Winter Irving, Riccardi, Spiteri and Calveen, the goal scorers. 2 apiece. Mathy, he's met pretty hard by Sparks. Hand passes it out to Jorgensen, flying shot on goal. He's across the face, through for a minor score by Adam Jorgensen, playing a bit of a different role today off half back. So the Dogs 23, trail the Saints 28 on the C&V Truck and Bus scoreboard. Second term for Jaco Aubrey Wodonga. We've played about 19 minutes in this second term. Mitch Del Bosco with the kick-in duties. Pumps it long. Out of defence, Soroczynski just sits off the contest and he goes inboard. Miller in an acre of space.
Here he goes, Miller, and he gets around Matt Munro. Long sleeve Spears, one inside 50, low ball coming out was Wilding, couldn't take it. And then finding its way to Jet Cassidy at ground level. Munro, he tears in. Murphy Dale just on the boot quickly, trying to get the Saints out of trouble. Beatty Diesel got brought to the deck. Play goes on here. Wartman just sends it inside 50. High ball, danger one. Good fist away. And here is Jack Mathy, intercepted by Tyler Harrington. He gets swung around in the tackle by Josh Mathy. And the umpire pings him. So Josh has got it. He's about 60 from home. He's about to send it in.
So he does just that. Kicks it to the hot spot in the hole, though, Pethbridge. He's played a really good game today. They might have found a couple here in Pethbridge and Jackson East from Western Australia. So Fraser Dale goes out wide. Asks a lot of Matty Munro up against 3 or 4 Dogs. Does pretty well in the end. Goes back to Hourigan. Lending a hand was Fraser Dale. Munro on his left foot at halfback. Has to kick it long down the wing for the Saints. Soroczynski intercepts. He goes short to the co-coach and Jack O'Sullivan. His numbers for 40 Winks, Freaky?
He's coming up for his 9th disposal today.
Had 11 tackles last week. Tried really hard to Jack O'Sullivan. Kicks to half forward. Over a pack of players and it trickles out of bounds for a throw-in. 28 plays 23. The Saints holding on to a 5-point lead in the second term for Jaco Aubrey Wodonga. And here's Luke Francis for Wangaratta Motor Group.
Yeah, about to have a boundary thrown here in the pocket. Hospital end. Far side. Gee, that's a high throw.
Don't mind
wow. My goodness. Ball at ground level. Is it going to be tied up? Spiteri goes in. Sparks very close to him. They're working away. Josh Mathy tears in. Sparks win again. Munro. And now it ends up with Spiteri on the boot. It's gone through for one behind. So round 2 in the R1M. Got to mention too, a big day's racing in Sydney today. We've got the running of the Doncaster and also the TJ Smith. And I can tell you, moments ago, the Country Championship final was run and won by Ascarta. The Wagga Galloper has taken it out in a massive blowout. It's returned around about $34.35, Panda.
Charlie Morrison marks at half forward for the Dogs. Goes back inside forward 50. A spearing kick has been marked by Noah Spiteri, tied up against the boundary, tied up against the scoreboard.
Yeah, he plays on, which is a very surprising. And to Adam Jorgensen, who, as you touched on, Pandy, has probably played a slightly different role, been more on half-back, but just been able to creep up forward today. He's coming up for his 11th disposal of the game, so really nice to see Adam be able to bounce back from what we acquired a game last week, and we know of his high standards.
Kicked 21 goals last year as a winger half-forward. He's tied up against the pocket, and he's missed to the near side. So the Dogs inaccurate once again, 3-7 place 4-4. And we know they kicked very inaccurately last week against the Pigeons. Didn't make all much of a difference, but you want to start nailing a couple of these shots as Del Bosco brings it out from the kick in. And it's been marked here by Andrews. End of 50-metre free kick. It was right in front of our scaffold, Sky Burgess, so I didn't see that one. Boundary side for Elite Building and Construction.
Yeah, just another, little push as he took the mark as you do, and he fell over, so they paid the free kick. It's been a couple of those today. I'm not sure whether they're milking it or at least it's even by the umpiring.
It is indeed. So Liam Andrews, 28 plays 25. This to give the Dogs the lead. It started good, but it faded late.
It didn't what? Didn't the wind pick that one up, Freaky?
Yeah, it certainly did. There's obviously, Sky Burgess will be able to touch on it probably a little bit more, but at that hospital, and it seems to be a substantial breeze going that way. A lot of the plays being played at that end of the ground. 28 plays 25 on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. 22 minutes played, Macca's time clock.
So Hourigan, back pocket for the Saints here, working up towards half-time on O&M Live. High kick, and the breeze holds that one up as well. Ferguson went up, missed it. O'Sullivan playing a good game today. Driscoll, O'Sullivan again, caught one high around the chops, and he's going to take the free kick. Wasn't happy with the attention from Murphy-Dale. So here goes Jack. He's got that right shoulder heavily strapped. Wants to go very wide. That's okay. Picks up Noah Bradshaw. Very talented footballer, this guy. And he sends it in, hooks back to the top of the goal square. Petherbridge knew he took the mark. Calvin Sparks, in fact, on the boot, swings it out. Johnson got hands to it. Liam Andrews, they're going in again here, the Dogs. They really need to make something out of this. Players going up. Good contest. Hourigan gets a fist to it, and the ball goes out of bounds. Let's go back down to Sky Burgess for Elite Building and Construction.
I got to say, the one thing Myrtleford are doing really well is setting up well in that one-on-one defensive competition. Like, they're getting fists to the ball every time, and they're making it really hard for Bulldogs to get a clean position in a powerful spot.
Doing a lot of defending at the moment, the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. How long can they hold on for? Half-time, not far away. They lead by a point, 28 plays 26 as we go around the grounds for Wangaratta Mazda, Brad Sprinkles Freak. Yeah, in the other games in the Everton Murray, Albury 63 lead the Raiders 22, Wangaratta Rovers 55 lead Coral 14, all level at Button Park between North Albury and Wangaratta 35 each, and Yarrawonga 35 lead Lavington 9. Toss back in, right next to the point post. Dogs doing all the attacking. Fraser Dale's clearing kick was off the side of the boot, spills to half forward, coming through like a steam train was Charlie Morrison. He puts it on the boot. Ooh. It was looking pretty good there for a while, and it's through for a minor score. So a lot of scoring, the Wodonga Bulldogs at the moment. 3-9-27. All points, though. The Saints 4-4-28. That's on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. Time on, second term for Jaco Wodonga.
Saints shifted out very wide here. Murphy-Dale to Fraser-Dale. And here he goes, Fraser. He's about to wind up, and he gets it to centre wing on the far side. Andrews playing in front. And he wins the free kick. Well done. In front of Calvin. So Liam, what will he set up from here? Miller wanted it. Squaring kick. Ignores and goes down the line. Noel Bradshaw off his chest. Jack Cassidy got spun around in a tackle. Tom Capillari. Wortman goes through. Gill gets his hands to it, then puts it up high. Sends it inside 50 here. Let's have a look down there. Big pack goes up. Petherbridge. Spiteri gets swung around in a tackle. Sparks out the back to Hourigan. Quickly off the ground. So they're defending and spending a lot of time here. High pressure footy down in the back line, Freaky.
Yeah, 17 inside 50s to 10 in this second quarter in favour of the Wodonga Bulldogs on the 40-wing stat sheet. And Fraser Dale has had 10 disposals in this second term as well.
Love to know how many in a row. They've certainly owned forward half territory. You do time in forward half, Freaky?
Not quite, mate.
Massant, the strong shooters. Matey has a flying shot on goals, a bit of an inside-out barrel. And it's through for another minor score. So a lot of these shots are under pressure or they're pushed quite wide. So they're 3-10 here, the Wodonga Bulldogs. 28 plays Myrtleford 4-4-28. So scores are level once again. on the CV Truck and Bus scoreboard as Del Bosco comes out wide to Jackson East, and it looks like we have a 50-metre free kick here, Lukey Francis, or as Murphy Dale just plays on down the wing with the advantage.
Yeah, Saints are away here. Pendry's had about 3 bounces, tries to get inside Lockie Murphy Dale, now on the boot inside 50 Elm Street, and Miller getting back and taking the mark in front of Jorgensen. Calvin caught at the back. Miller wastes no time, driving kick. Jack Cassidy went to ground, and spitting it out was East. To Curtis. Curtis, high ball. Let's have a look who's under this. Driscoll just missed it. Coming over the back was Calvin. Johnson gets it out the side to Jorgensen. Fumbly. And Diesel Beatty right on him here. He pulled his strides down. And then Diesel goes again. Yeah, that's it, Panda. And then out the back to Cossa. So a lot of handballs in close. And then Dale got it back to Beatty. Diesel turned over though to Johnson. And here they come, the Bulldogs.
Jams it on the boot in the middle of the ground. 1-on-1. Harrington couldn't mark. Falls to ground. Spills out here to the Saints. Del Bosco in tight. And a beautiful kick to Fraser Dale. Right next to the centre circle. He's going to send it in once again. Morrison floating across. Playing bravely as he always. He goes out wide to the far side of the ground. Kick was half smothered. And here come the Saints. Dale kick well, gaining a bit of territory here. The Dogs, through Will Bradshaw, is brought down on a strong tackle, but the half-time siren wins out. So a pretty good quarter of footy. Pretty even here at Martin Park. That's what the scoreboard's telling us. The Dogs 3-10-28. Up against the Saints 4-4-28. So the Dogs certainly with the scoring shots in that second term, all wrapped up for Jaco or Wodonga. We're going to take a break here on O&M Live, 15-663 NE, and of course O&M Snap Printing TV. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday afternoon, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Shaping lives through nursing? Building communities through community services? Maybe caring for animals through veterinary science? With GoTAFE by your side, you can make it happen. From agriculture, hospitality, health and wellbeing, trades and education, to hair and beauty or creative, learn real skills for real jobs and careers right now. With GoTAFE, you've got this. Search GoTAFE today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community. 0.0% alcohol.
This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Half price until half time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half price selected beers until half time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.
Visit apply.mcdonalds.com.au.
O&M Live on 3NE.
Martin Park, Wodonga, it's all square. It is all square, tied up here in, the Doggies' home ground. It is 3-10, the Bulldogs 28, and the Saints 4-4, 28. So nothing in it at this present time at the long break. And the halftime break is brought to you by McDonald's on O&M Live. Now, Freaky, we firstly might have a look at our goal kickers for the first half.
Yeah, in that first half there, we'll start with the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. We had Brodie Riccardi, who kicked two, one to Riley Calvin and one to Matty Munro. And for the Wodonga Bulldogs, we've got Riley Gill, Kyle Winter-Irving and Noah Spiteri, the goal kickers so far in this game.
So important, Freaky, to when you take the show on the road, you've got to really bring the heat and the aggression in the contest early on in the first 5 minutes. The Saints did that. They were in front for a long time in the first half, and the Dogs just worked their way back towards the end of the second term. The Saints can be proud of the way they're playing. Yeah, they certainly can be. They're probably, at quarter time, I think they'd probably be a little bit disappointed they didn't have their noses in front by more. They had a lot of the play in that first term, particularly, as we said. They had the first 9 inside 50s of the game. We only kicked the 1 goal from those 9 entries. And then in the end of that first quarter, it ended up being 11-17. And then in the second quarter, it was sort of the other way around. The Dogs had 17 entries to 14. And the Dogs, again, probably as it's level, 3-10 at half time, haven't really taken their opportunities as well. So, both teams have let the other team still stay into the game. So it'll be interesting to see. It's probably going to be a case of whatever team can capitalise when they have that momentum and that ascendancy in this second half is probably going to be the team that gets it done. Yeah, Sky Burgess has been doing a cracking job boundary side for Elite Building and Construction. Sky, what did you make of the first half?
Yeah, I've got to say I'm really impressed by Myrtleford. It just seems almost like a whole new outfit from what we've seen previously. Their setup and structure behind the ball, they just seem really well drilled. I don't know. It's taken me by surprise, to be honest. And Wodonga's done the right thing. I feel like Wodonga is, probably previously known as being a fast-paced team as well. And they were kind of smart enough to just play possession football. And I really think that's when it brought them back into the game. So, yeah, it's been interesting to watch two young, speedy teams try to kind of bring each other back down to earth. But it's been a ripping game. I think it's going to be a nail-biter. Yeah, exactly. I know, again, and I said this in the pre-game, you can't take much out of one game, but I really did think that the Saints appeared to be very physical last week, and they brought an appetite for the contest, and I reckon we've seen it again today. Would you agree with that? Yeah, definitely. They've definitely been physical in and around the footy, but I think that also comes as well, Lucky, with some of the recruits they've been able to bring in. Big obviously, bodies, Lockie Murphy-Dale and Fraser-Dale, just some bigger bodies around the footy is going to help. And on the 40-week stat sheet, that those two brothers have both had 18 disposals each. So they've been in and around the footy. They've been able to get it out and, just getting some bigger bodies. Last year, they had a lot of smaller frames down there. The Saints had a lot of kids come through the system, which is always great, but you still need some, as I said, you sort of need men and bodies that can actually withstand it. And, these guys are
putting their heads over the footy and doing it in the coalface. Similarly to the Dogs, as I touched on, Josh Matthew had a quieter game last week. He's up to 17 disposals, and he's been really influential on the Dogs side of things to get the footy out to Jack O'Sullivan's and the like, who can then use the ball, and Adam Jorgensen, Sullivan and Jorgensen both had the 12 disposals in that first half.
Freaky does an outstanding job for us on the 40-wing stat sheet each and every week on OMFNL Live. And Freaky, what we'll do now is we'll have a look at the Cavalier Homes quarters best for the second term.
Yeah, just a couple of guys I touched on there. I thought that Josh Matthew was outstanding in that second term, and I thought Jack O'Sullivan, the new coach, really
very good.
He really built into the game. Similar to last week, he probably had a slow start, but then really built into the game, and he's doing something very similar today. And as I already touched on, I think the two brothers, Lockie Murphy-Dale and Fraser Dale, were probably the two standouts for the Myrtleford side of things in that second term there. They were in and around the footy. It's funny how the two brothers, they almost look for each other a little bit out there. It's how often today we've seen...
I noticed that.
Yeah, one get the footy and pass it to the other, and I actually noticed it as well for the Dogs side. You know, Josh Matthew's not too far away when his brother Jack gets the footy either, so it's interesting to watch out there today.
Don't want to make the call too early, Sky, but the clouds look to be clearing here at Wodonga, and hopefully we can get through this game rain-free.
Don't you commentator curse me.
Oh, no.
I'm the one standing out there in it. Yeah, no, it does. The clouds are opening and you can see the blue, but I guess we can't see what's coming. Which direction is it coming from here? Yes, it's behind us. Touch wood. It's nice, certainly spat a little bit of rain, so it hasn't even been too bad, considering the ground's starting to dry out a little bit because it was that really heavy feeling.
For sure, Scott. Rightio, Freaky. We'll go around the grounds now for Wangaratta Mazda and see what's happening in the other round 2 games in the O&M.
Yeah, a few interesting results out there at the moment. All these games obviously are at halftime as well. Aubrey taking on the Wodonga Raiders. Aubrey 64 lead the Raiders 28. Wangaratta Rovers 55 lead Cora Rutherglen 14. And probably the closest, well, one of the closest games as well in this weekend is North Aubrey v Wangaratta. Only a 1-point margin there at halftime. 35-36, and in our other broadcast game on 2A wide, Lavington taking on Yarrawonga. Yarrawonga 35 lead Lavington 10 at halftime in that game as well.
You breezed over the scores when the game was playing so briefly, and I thought I heard wrong about Maggie's North. Everyone's kind of, like taking a look around.
Well, there was one member of the call team, Luke. I did notice he threw the phone in, but it happened before with that result on the top. I'm not naming names.
Well, I was expecting to hear, like a bit of a reaction out of him, and there was nothing. So
that man we're alluding to has left the broadcast box, so that's why we can
talk about him now.
We do. And if you just tuned in right now to 1566 3&E and the live stream, thanks to Snap Printing, we can tell you it's all square here at Martin Park at halftime. So we knew it would be close going in, but at the moment it's the Doggies 3-10-28 up against the Sainers 4-4-28. So big second half, low scoring game, Freaky.
Yeah, it certainly is. Well, again, as we said, both teams had taken their opportunities, particularly the Dogs, Sky. With 3-10 at halftime, the scoreline could be a lot different at halftime.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, they are probably playing a little bit slower pace than what they are. That does change the game a little bit. But I was extremely I can't even speak now. Impressed with Myrtleford's defence. Like, I just kept watching, and to make sure I say this right, Zach Pethbridge, is that how you say it? I was so impressed, like the one-on-one contest, they're setting up really tight behind the Bulldogs players and getting a clean fist to everything. It's making them quite hard for the Bulldogs to mark and get a good clear position in a spot that's easy to kick for goal. Like they're left kicking their goals out on the wings and that, which makes a big difference.
Yes, Guy, no chance of Zach Pethbridge this year losing any votes in the best and fairest. He's got the long sleeves on and he's got the headband around. He's like something out of Woodstock, Freaky.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's obviously started his playing at Myrtleford on really well. He was named in the best last week, and just having a look at some stats throughout the week, he had the most spoils by any defender last weekend as well, and he would have started the today's game exactly the same. So probably another defender at the other end of the ground who we probably all rate as the best in the competition is Charlie Morrison. I think he's been outstanding. He was clearly Wodonga's best player last weekend, Lukey, and he's really stepping up as he's coming into the captaincy role. He's been able to take up his game to another level.
Jesus, straight through player, isn't he? Once he gets momentum up, Sky, you don't want to be in front of him.
Yeah, you just almost expect that from him now, don't you? He's such a consistently outstanding player and extremely intelligent as well. You can see his footy smarts and that. You just have no doubt, especially when it's a one-on-one contest, you almost back him in. And as a defender, that's a powerful thing to have to put on the competition. I'd be scared against him, that's for sure.
Yeah, beautiful. The halftime show brought to you by McDonald's here on O&M Live. What's your favourite at Macca's, Sky? Come on, if you're going to go through the drive-through after the game, what are you grabbing?
I just love fries.
Fries? Any sauce?
No, but if I was having a nugget meal, it'd be sweet and sour. And tip. Oh my! What is wrong with me today?
What is wrong?
The chips might get the odd dip. Was what I was gonna say.
You might be a bit jet lagged coming down on the big bird.
Said to Panda, I feel a bit out of it.
Freaky?
Double quarter pounder. Big dirty one.
Going all in.
You're on McChicken.
Yep. My goodness.
What about you, Luke?
Nice and greasy. I'm going to go with. You can't beat the old nuggy news.
Yeah.
You can't beat them. Rightio, we'll get to a break here on O&M Live as Blake Escott re-enters the box. Halftime show again, brought to you by Macca's and Ronald McDonald. He's a great man. Back at Martin Park right after this.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Shaping lives through nursing? Building communities through community services? Maybe caring for animals through veterinary science? With GoTAFE by your side, you can make it happen. From agriculture, hospitality, health and wellbeing, trades and education, to hair and beauty or creative, learn real skills for real jobs and careers right now. With GoTAFE, you've got this. Search GoTAFE today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community. .0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Half price until half time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half price selected beers until half time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.
Third quarter.
Albury Wodonga MG. Test drive the MG4 2023 Car Sales Car of the Year.
O&M Live on 3NE.
Welcome back to Martin Park. The sun is shining.
Oh,
as Luke
yeah.
Francis was just trying to tell me.
Oh, yeah.
He could not tell that we had about 20 mil of rain in the last 48 hours, Lukey. It is picture perfect. We've got a great game of footy as well. The Saints 28 up against the Dogs 28. Scores are even at half-time. You've got Blake Panderescott with you. Sky Burgess will be out in the open. She doesn't mind sitting under the cover now. There's no rain to speak of. Brad Freak and Luke Francis with you as well. Brad Freak, some of the other scores in the netball or around the grounds as well?
Yeah, we'll do a netball update in the Ovens and Murray. Wangaratta defeating North Albury by 2 goals, 41-39. Corowa too good for the Wangaratta Rovers, 55-34. Wodonga Bulldogs defeating Myrtleford, 45-41. Yarrawonga defeating Lavington, 39-27. And the Wodonga Raiders getting a win over the Albury Tigers, 41-32 at their game at the Albury Sports Ground.
And here at Martin Park, as you just said then, Wodonga with a bit of an upset over the Myrtleford Alpine Saints in the A-grade netball. So that's a big win for Liam Athey and the girls here at Wodonga. So well done to them. Let's hope that we get a bit of free-flowing footy in this second half. It certainly started to open up a little bit, didn't it, Lukey, in the second bit of that second quarter, in that second half?
Yeah, you're right, Panda. A little chaotic towards the end of the second term there. I thought the ball was toing and froing between both teams and no one could really gain the upper hand or ascendancy. But the 4 points well and truly up for grabs here at Martin Park. It's going to be a great contest this second half.
I feel like both sides, you can tell, really want this game.
Oh, yeah.
It's an important 4 points. Wodonga need to get their season rolling. And the Myrtleford Alpine Saints were pretty stiff last week against North Albury, so they'll definitely want to start their season off with an away win here. The umpire's about to ball the footy up to commence the second half. We're doing this one for Mimo and the crew at Albury Wodonga MG, as Sky Burgess also makes her way down to the boundary. The umpire holds the footy aloft, and here is Lukey Francis for Wangaratta Motor Group on 3Ne's O&M Live.
Here we go, Panda. So Cossa up high. Ball came down. Maraca. O'Sullivan goes in. Maraca gets it back onto Munro, and they get a clearing kick from the centre. An entry here for Saints to the hospital end. Ball gets out the back of the contest. Wortman working hard. And then Harrington. Got swung around by Wortman. And Tyler comes to the deck. So good, strong footy from both teams as the ball finds the boundary line here where the 50 meets the boundary line, Panda.
Certainly does, Lukey Francis. So 7 goals in the opening half. As I said, in greasy conditions. So let's hope that we open up a little bit in this second half. We've got another ball up. Same position it was thrown back in. How have you seen the ruck duel so far, Freaky, between Driscoll and Big Toby Cossa?
Yeah, I'll probably give Toby the points just at this point in time. He's bound to get a better connection with his midfield group.
And, of course, it isn't just Michael Driscoll in the ruck as well. Tommy Johnson's been in there a few times and a couple of others as Matty Munro wins a free kick for holding the ball here at half forward. Kicked the opening goal of the game, did Matt Munro. It's a congested forward line that he kicks into right now with the beautiful blue skies. Fisting that one was Jackson East. Spills down here to Fraser Dale. Off to his brother, Lockie Murphy Dale. Tried to keep it in. Umpire said, you ran out, Lockie. I'll have it. I'll throw it back in. 30 around from the Saints goal. 28-28, no score second half. Yet, here's Luke Francis for Wing Motor Group.
Yeah, all square here at Martin Park. Nothing between these two teams. Here we go. Soroczynski comes out of the back line with a kick right out to the far side. And Miyotto has taken the mark, swings around, sends it into the pocket. Booker and Deneen clash. Ball out of bounds here. We will have a boundary throw, and in fact, it's out on the full. So a good pick up by Panderescott. He had his arms out.
Michael Jordan wings.
50 here as well.
That wind, you can hear it now affects Mike as well, Sky. I'll just jump in. That wind picking up a little bit in the second half as well.
Yeah, it is. It's really just starting to blow again. Still to the hospital end on a slight angle, but about a 50% breeze, I would say.
What was it, 54, Freaky?
I think he just didn't get back off the mark far enough, Lukey.
Well done.
Soroczynski kicks to half forward. Good pick up from Winter Irving. Bradshaw and Johnson link up. Gill in the channel. Just left the footy behind. Miyotto applied a pretty good tackle. Matt Munro. And they got a bit of space here at half back. East Links up with a teammate, Matty Munro. Streams through the middle of Martin Park. Left foot kick out the back. Booker not able to mark. Did very well in defence there. Was Wodonga. I'm trying to work out who that player was.
Yeah,
I think
Mitchie
you're
Deneen.
right. It was Mitch Deneen. Looked like Booker was going to reach over the top, but he did well backing back. And we've got a ball up 30 metres out for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints goal. That transition once again, Lukey, a feature for the Saints.
It is, Panda. It's tough in the clinches. Calveen goes to the deck.
High.
Driscoll brings him down. And he actually called. I agree with you, Panda. I thought that the umpire was going to call it high.
I thought he did.
I thought it was high too. Boys.
Yeah, so very confusing there. Calveen, Noel Bradshaw's got him. Now that one was raising the arm, so it's against Noel Bradshaw. And what's happened here? The umpire's saying there's been some whistles.
It's against Myrtleford, Luke.
It is against Calveen.
Calveen again, but the umpire signalled that he raised his arm to get the ball, the arm up high to get the tie tackle and paid the holding the ball because it was his prior opportunity. Okay, so this is Will Bradshaw, takes on Hourigan, and Hourigan rips him around and sends him out of bounds. So the intensity's gone up here, the heat is on. Holding the ball on that one as well, Lukey.
Saints get it, Panda.
Lockie Hourigan with a great tackle, hunted him down. Will Bradshaw tried to get past him, and Hourigan said, no, sirree. So good intent. It's dried up. We're going to see the game fasten up. Little sand wedge there from Tom Capillari. Found Fraser Dale. He kicked it to half forward. Booker juggled a great mark. It was a bit of an ordinary kick from Fraser. He's too far out to score, Booker. Coming off 4 goals last week. 55 metres out on a 45-degree angle. You'd expect him to try and set this one up. Clever little kick into the channel, looking for a teammate. Morocco wraps up at Matty Wilson, and we're going to have a ball up.
It's a high.
It's a high, is it?
Kick, yep.
Okay, well picked up, Sky Burgess for Elite Building and Construction. Slow start to the third term for Wodonga MG. Still 28 apiece as Matt Wilson turns this one over. It's been cut off by Mioto for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints.
Here he goes, Lockie Mioto, Panda, and he spears it in down forward to the pocket. Oh, going early, Lockie Murphy-Doe, and Driscoll has taken the mark at the back and sends it out wide to Tom Johnson. Arc of the 50 for the Bulldogs on the far side. Let's see what Tom's going to do with this. Gets onto that left foot, sends it. Beautiful kick to Winner Irving. Right down the line. Is our scoreboard blanked out? It's back up again. So still 28 apiece here, all square. Redcliffe swings around, gets one into Riley Gill on the boot. Spiteri's free, takes the mark. Will he play on? O'Sullivan wanted it. He ignores him. And Noah will have a shot here, Freaky.
Yeah, it's going to take a pretty good kick at that Pierce Street end. Obviously, as Sky touched on, the breeze is favouring the hospital end. So, and he's going to be kicking that from roughly, I'd say, about 47 metres out, would you say? So it's going to take a really, really good kick here. He might just feign and set this up to the top of the goal square if otherwise.
Gone 6 and the Macca's time clock. Here comes Noah, deliberate. He's put that through. Oh, that is a Mawson's concrete play of the day from Noel Spiteri. That was beautiful. Sky Burgess, we'll go down to you for Elite Building and Construction.
Yeah, I was almost going to chime in and say that, yes, it is blowing towards the hospital end, but it's almost got an angle on it now. It's coming towards the benches more. So, you know, I was going to say if he hits it at the left post, it'll go through, and it's gone through. So it might have almost helped him.
Just as a rough guess, Panda, I will get a message from Noah.
You will?
Roughly
10 minutes after the game.
Before we get off air, well, there's potential I could get a message from Noah saying, why did I doubt him? Beautiful goal there.
I was about to say, you will definitely hear about that Brad Sprinkles freak from our man Noah Spiteri. So it's the first time the Dogs have led all day. They lead by 6 points, 34-28, as Spiteri nailed his second goal. And we're going to have a ball up just edge of the square here. Les Cheesley side of Martin Park. As Lukey Francis said before, gather round in the AFL. We're loving it. West Coast putting up a good show against Sydney, I saw as well at half-time. This one's been marked by Damon Harrington. Wants to go short to Munro. It's a really poor kick. Morrison there waiting in the hole. Jorgensen weaving through traffic. Interesting little left foot chiseler as Josh Mathy tries to stream away with the ball, but it's ball up. 60 out from Wodonga's goal, 4:10:34 they lead the Saints 4-4-28. On our Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard, we played 7 minutes third term.
Beautiful Panda, Martin Park. Sun beaming through now. Sky, this is sort of Gold Coast, Southport Sharks sort of weather.
It is beautiful weather. It's not too hot for the boys, but the sun is out and the sky is blue.
So a real turnaround, overcast when we started this game. Now here goes Johnson. Now that's a high ball going in. Now where's the Saints defence? Petherbridge went up in front, over the back, and taking the mark. Calvin, as the umpire paid it? No. He's going to call for it. In fact, it's Hurricane getting up off the turf, Freaky.
Yeah, I reckon Oscar Wilding had the first grab at it and just juggled it, and then it was Calvin, I think you said there, looking to be able to take the ball off him.
Cossa. And then Noah Bradshaw got hands to it, goes again. Sparks, Cossa joins the contest again. Redcliffe, whistle, over the shoulder. Now Redcliffe's played on, that's a goal. The umpire's paid the advantage. Well, fortuitously, I reckon, in the end, Ethan Redcliffe just really quick thinking, and the Doggies pick up a goal, Freaky.
Yeah, quick thinking there from Ethan, obviously, as the free kick was played out. Everyone sort of stopped. He was the only one still on the move and just snapped a really nice left-footed goal there. And hopefully that gets himself a bit of confidence and can bring him back into the game a little bit. He's obviously probably a little bit down at the moment. He's had the 3 shots and 1 goal too. So really, if they can get him sparked and going in this second half, it's going to pave the Dogs in the right direction for the rest of this game.
So they've kicked 4 of the last 5. The Wodonga Bulldogs.
Yes. They're finding their game.
They certainly are. And Ethan Redcliffe on the scoreboard. 40 plays 28. They lead by 12. 9 minutes played third term for Wodonga MG. Fraser-Dale with another clearance. Spits it out to Miyotto. They link up. Lockie Murphy-Dale on the left. Swings it around the corner. All Dogs at half forward. Soroczynski just weaves through a little bit of traffic here and tries to chisel one to Mathy. Murphy-Dale did well. Good tackle there by Miyotto. Soroczynski just got Diesel Beatty high there. And Diesel's going to win a free kick. Best name in footy. I reckon Diesel. I like it. Off to Fraser-Dale. They're just mucking around with a little bit here, the Saints. It's good heat here by the Dogs. Murphy-Dale gets around Mathy. His kick intercepted, though, by Charlie Morrison for the Dogs at half-back, and he pumps it down centre wing.
He does. Johnson versus Hurricane. That might be out on the full. It is. So it's going to be a free kick given here to the Saints. Let's see who emerges from under the grandstand there. Freaky, it's Hurricane.
Yep.
He's got it. So Lockie goes back, and he picks up Collegiero. Across half-back. He sees what he likes here. He's going to go to Petherbridge. Now let's see if the Saints can pluck something out here. They want to straighten it up to Maraka. Jorgensen right on his tail, or goes again. Thought he cut one high. Umpire said play on. Knocked out. O'Sullivan spits one out the side here. That was to Jack Mathy. Now Wilding trying to weave through Saints traffic. On to O'Sullivan. He breaks away and he goes towards the Elm Street end. Beautiful footy. Picking up Winter Irving and Freaky. That was great footy.
Yeah, you just saw Jack O'Sullivan at his absolute best there, wasn't it? He'd be able to get the handball out off and just run into a bit of space and find the open man in Kyle Winter Irving, who really had about 20 metres of space in that forward pocket. So just hopefully if he can get this next one on the board as well and just give the Dogs a 3-goal lead. And they've been really dominant to start this third term.
Kyle Winter Irving got 35 out. And that is not a Mawson's concrete play of the day.
That's the poorest kick I've seen in this comp in 4 years for a set shot on goal.
And
for a set shot on goal.
Well, could you call it a kick?
I wouldn't have thought so. Oh, we love it. Good on him, Kyle Winter Irving. He's had a crack.
That's it. Saints will get it, pen it, back pocket, Elm Street end.
So out in the full from Winter Irving, and the Saints have it. They just need the next one to stay in this contest. 40 plays 28. Dogs lead. They've kicked the first 2 after half-time. Miller and Fraser-Dale in a contest. Will Bradshaw finding his way into the game. Takes it over the boundary line. 60 out from the Dogs' goal. They're owning territory, Brad Sprinkles Freak.
Yeah, they certainly are. I'm just keeping an eye on Charlie Morrison here. He seems to be playing a loose man behind the footy, and he's just been able to nullify anything that the Saints have been going forward.
Well picked up by Brad Freak on our 40-wing stat sheet. Cossa, and that man Morrison on cue. Wins it out of the clearance. Floats it to half forward. Jack O'Sullivan wanted the footy more over Calogero. Runs to 45, tight angle. Kicks it back in the hole. Petherbridge with the long sleeves takes an intercept for the Saints. And he kicks to true centre half back. Curtis Marks, and they are away.
Aren't they what? And they go to half forward here. Panda, Wortman, well done, wins it on half back. And then tried to get it to Jack Matey, just out of his reach. Curtis went back hard. And here goes Harrington. This is Damon. And then sends it down the line to the arc of the 50. Flying over the top was Driscoll. Matt Munro tried to sweep it up off the deck. Ollie Greenhill came in though. Got it to Wortman for the Bulldogs. Bouncing ball through the middle of the ground. And then going off the turf was Collegiero. He just tried to hack it out of there. Will Bradshaw gets brought to the deck and a strong tackle. I tell you what, boys, we've got a game on our hands now. It is 5-10-40. The Bulldogs leading the Saints 4-4-28. Let's go back down to Sky Burgess for Elite Building and Construction.
Yeah, it really is. It's really starting to pick up, isn't it? We spoke about it at halftime. You can really see both teams really want this game.
Here is a chance for Harrington snapping on goal. Didn't have the juice in it. And the Dogs on the last line clear it. Bradshaw with strength, just pushed off Murphy Dale. Will Bradshaw tries to cut back inside. Well done, Capillari, just in the space. Cuts it off for the Saints at half forward. He goes out really wide. Could take your pick, the two Dale brothers. Fraser marks it. He's turned his back on the play here. He's going to go back from 50 on a very tight angle. Broadcast side. He ends up playing on. Wheels around. Oh, pumps it to the hot spot. It's coming back, but it just doesn't have the distance. Lands in the goal square. Matt Munro, left foot sliding, snaps a goal! He's all class, Matty Munro. A steal line goal at A contender. That's his second. And it's through for a major. The Saints fight back. 30 plays 40. Dogs lead third term for Wodonga MG.
Just read the fly of the ball beautifully there, didn't Matty Munro? Just came to the front of the pack and a really, really clever snap from tight in that pocket just in front of the can bar. He's up to the 15 disposals now on the 40-wing stats sheet. And Fraser Dale as well. He's one for Myrtleford, who's stood up all day for them. He's up to 22 disposals as well on our stats sheet. Had plenty of the inside 50s this quarter, Myrtleford, finally able to hit the goals there. Had 9 in this third term.
So ball back in the middle. And just a goal between the maroon and white and the tricolours. The Doggies and the Saints. Haven't we got a contest here on O&M Live? And the pictures brought to you by Snap Printing Solutions on 15-663 and E. Then coming out of the middle was Diesel, got it to Munro.
Good
Curtis down at his haunches. O'Sullivan puts the pressure on off the ground. He goes, Curtis, good mark. And swinging around here was East. Oh, well done by Jack Matey to come through. O'Sullivan got torn off the ball. Going in Maraca over the top into Jet Cassidy. He might be gone here. No. Umpire lets him off the hook. And we'll have a ball up left of centre wing on the broadcast side.
We'll go around the ground soon for Wangaratta Mazda. Ripping game at Bunton Park for our Wangaratta Magpie listeners. They lead by a point, as Jack Matey did really well in the contest at half-back for the Dogs. Soroczynski kicks it down centre wing in front of his man there, Cole Winter-Irving. A good hand pass from Matey onto Bradshaw. Now this is Josh Matey, inside forward 50. Winter-Irving overran the football. Wilding wanted a free kick. Pethbridge and Nick Ferguson did really well for the Saints. Ferguson streams out of defence. Driscoll could mark up against the smaller opponent there in Maraca. Did well at ground level, fires it back to Jorgensen, but look at the heat here by the Saints. Jorgensen did well, out to Jet Cassidy, at half-back, broadcast side, gets it from a 1-2, wants to switch the footy, and he finds Soroczynski all on his own on the other side of the defensive 50.
Gee, it's a hot ball at the moment. Soroczynski wanted to take on Gribben, good footy, and then chips it up in the air. Wilson got a hand to it, down in front. O'Sullivan going in. He's trying his heart out for his Bulldogs. He's been great. And now we will again have another ball up. Fricky, what do you got for us on the 40-wing stats?
Yeah, that meant Jack O'Sullivan up to 16 disposals on our stat sheet today. And as we touched on, Fraser Dale up to 22 disposals as well.
Just right of the centre. East, brought to the deck. Umpire's going to set you gone. Gill plays on. Here they go, the Doggies. Jackie O sends it in forward, over the top. Wilding.
Good.
In front of Petherbridge. Good footy.
Does anyone else notice the costume change, boys?
I haven't. Sky? I have Sky.
Yep, Myrtleford's long sleeves are going from stripe to white. Look
Right.
at Pethbridge, yep. Half-time costume change.
That's why you're the best for elite building and construction, Sky. Wilding lining up, Lukey. Tight angle.
Here he goes, Oscar. Now, Panda, he's 35 out, 45-degree angle. Oh, he's hit the stick. He's hit the post. So the lead by 7 points here, the Doggies, 5-11-40. Leads the Saints 34 on the scoreboard, and that is thanks to Paulie's Corner Cafe. We're in the third term at Martin Park. Here's Blake Escott for the Wangaratta Motor Group.
Not sure who Caligiero was kicking to there. Straight to Jorgensen, direct turnover. He goes back inside forward 50. Wasn't a great option as well. As Caligiero wins it back again, tries to make amends. Fraser-Dale links up with Capillari. His kick out of defence, a shocker. And Soroczynski diving down low for the Dogs. Marks too far out to score. 60 from home, call it. Chisling kick into the pocket. Pethbridge over around the footy, wielding out the back. Trying to stretch and keep it in, but he doesn't. That's through for a minor score for the Dogs. Quick kick in by the Saints. Pethbridge finds Harrington. A free kick for a push in the back against Charlie Morrison. The Saints will have it at half-back as we go down to Sky Burgess. That wind again for Elite Building and Construction.
Yeah, I was just going to say it is really starting to pick up now.
Yeah, Panda, and you got it right about the quick kick in from Pethbridge. He was almost world record pace, didn't muck around. Good mark from Mitch Deneen.
He's had a really good start to the season, Mitchy Deneen. I thought he was great last week in defence on Lee Masters, and he's really stood up again today.
Just down in front of the grandstand here, goes to the half-forward flank, coming over the top, wielding a couple of bites at it, put it to the ground, and Miotto sees it over the chalk here. So we'll go to you, Freaky. You might have a look at the around-the-ground scores thanks to Wang Mazda.
Yeah, Albury 90 lead Wodonga Raiders 36, Wangaratta Rovers 80 lead Corowa 22, Wangaratta Magpies 43 lead North Albury 42.
And then coming out of the contest there was East, Jackson, and then that was Miller, Whistle.
Sorry,
free kick.
Just in the last game, Yarrawonga 51 lead Lavey 17.
Here goes Riley Gill.
So Gill, he's been impressive again today, the youngster. Played a couple of senior games last year. Sends it inside 50. Pethbridge flew high, dropped the mark, and we have a boundary throw in as it spills out 30 around from the Wodonga goal. Brad Sprinkles, Freak.
Yeah, you feel, again, Wodonga have got all the momentum in the game, but probably really haven't capitalised enough on the scoreboard. It's probably been a bit of a theme of theirs today. They really need to, in this back end of this third quarter, try and get some distance on them, because at some point, Myrtleford will get some momentum in the match. 19 played Macca's time clock. Dogs 42, Saints 34 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. Capillari didn't have the footy. He played that really well. In fact, it's Jackson East, who's been very impressive, I have to say, today. Has Jackson East. We're not keeping his numbers, but I reckon we will next time we call the Myrtleford game. You just call the game, Panda.
Sorry, Freaky. Just a bit of friendly advice. Ball comes to centre wing, and we have a ball up right in front of our commentary position. Beautiful sun shining here at Martin Park, John Flower Oval in Wodonga. Big crunch game. You can tell that Craig Miller and Jared Twitt and Jack O'Sullivan, the coaches from both respective sides, certainly hunting this 4 points. And we've got looks like another ball up, 20 blokes around this pill. Centre wing, 42 plays 34, 20 minutes played Macca's time clock. Here's one of the best, Lukey Francis for Wang Motor Group.
Yes, 8-point margin, Panda. Doggies up, strong in the contest is Fraser-Dale trying to bore his way through. Gets out to East, high ball, this might be heading out of bounds. It is, the wind takes it drifting. And Sky, we might go down to you for Elite Building Construction. Just tell us about that wind.
Yeah, it is really picking up now. It's really strong. It is towards the hospital end, but more so towards the bench, so it's almost blowing directly across the ground now.
Driscoll, half back for the Bulldogs, trying to pluck a Marona Guernsey out. Cossa went back. Well done. Got a hand to it. Josh Matey, though, quick to O'Sullivan. Nice hands to Jack Matey. Missed Josh Matey. Maraka, nice. Ducked his way under the tackle. Got it to Matt Munro. Here come the Saints to the hospital end. Will it make it in time? Oh, Murphy-Dale nearly out of bounds. He will have a throw in. And did you hear him yell, Freaky? He wasn't happy about that.
Yeah, he nearly got there. Nearly the perfect kick. Probably as we just out in front of him. It would have taken a really good kick from there, but they can set up now the Saints behind the footy and really lock it in for the last period of this third turn.
42 plays 34, and that's the Dogs' lead. As Fraser-Dale, roving it beautifully from Cossa, has a flying shot on goal. It's a snap, and it's out of bounds on the full, and the Dogs will win it back in their defensive 50. So quickly go around the grounds. North Albury 54 lead the Wang Magpies 43.
Oh,
I believe Nathan Dennis has kicked 6 goals in that game for the Hoppers, so that's the closest other game as we go around the grounds. For Wang Mazda, good mark by Tommy Johnson at half back for the Dogs. They lead this one by 8 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. Beautiful kick. He finds Wilding, who's led up on centre wing, wants to play on. Goes inside forward 50. Spiteri out the back. Did he get caught high? No. Umpire said play on. Del Bosco has it. He wants to switch the footy, and he finds Capillari deep in his own defence for the Saints. They trail by 8. 34 plays 42 in this third term for Wodonga MG.
So it's been quite a comeback from Tom Capillari. Rolled his ankle in the first half. You would have heard Sky Burgess said he actually went into the rooms. They probably re-strapped it. He's back on, looks to be going well now. Ferguson finds Curtis, and then Curtis, nice kick. Now Booker's released here, and he likes to run. He wants to angle inboard. Back to Capillari, just put it to the deck. Tom gets it back to Riley. Riley sends it in. Let's have a look back there. Murphy Dale going hard at it. Riccardi provides Shepherd. Murphy Dale couldn't quite pick it up. Bulldog going hold up. And we're going to have a contest, Freaky.
Probably could have gone a little bit more direct there, Riley Booker. With the wind behind him, probably would have got that just in front of him.
So we've had goals in this third term. 2 to the way of the Dogs through Spiteri and Redcliffe. And the last one by Matty Munro at the 14th. 8 minutes without a goal. Broadcast kick to almost went over. He's got options around the back. He's in the window. A Mawson's concrete mark of the day on centre wing. Tied up against the boundary. Kicks towards Redcliffe. Pethbridge doing really well against him for the Saints. Calogero, a high one, sits a long way up in the air. It's been marked by Josh Maraca. It's a nervous kick across goal, but it works for Capillari, and the switch is on to Munro for the Saints. They trail by 8.
Yes, so there might be out of trouble here, the Saints. Matt Munro wanting to carry the football. Tom Capillari is going to provide the shepherd. Munro had a couple of bounces and then got it to Curtis. Simon on the boot towards the hospital end. Let's have a look there. Oh, good fist from Driscoll. The defence was on for the Bulldogs. Oh, Gill just... Well, he fumbled at a crucial stage. Now that's Harrington. Damon spinning around. Miotto, high ball going in. We're at the Bulldogs' defence here. Oh, well done from Driscoll. Getting back and providing a double fist. Let's go back down to Sky Burgess for Elite Building and Construction.
It is. It's really starting to pick up the intensity now, isn't it? It's great to see.
Update for you very soon in the third term. Even ball game. 25 minutes played, time clock, not far away from three-quarter time. And the Saints by 8. Sorry, the Dogs by 8. Being played between the arcs at the minute. By really silly Dale, who gets his second today.
15 away today as well.
Deneen for the umpire. Deneen goes out wide there to Wortman. And he goes out wide as well. Mathy finds his brother Josh. They've done that a few times today. Mathy goes short, but it's been intercepted in the middle of the ground by Riccardi. Players dive over this football. Jorgensen, Miller was just reefed off it. That's Tom. He's won a free kick in the middle of the ground, folks. They lead by 8, 42-34. Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard.
Beautifully called by Blake Escott for the Wang Motor Group. Miller, very short, picks up Jorgensen. That's okay. True centre half forward here, the Dogs. The lead by 8 points. Jorgensen, spearing kick, misses Wilding. Now Spiteri has a chance to mob. And there is the siren to bring three-quarter time at Martin Park. And between these 2 points with an 8-point margin. What a final term we're in for in Wodonga. Rightio, this is O&M Live. Stick with us. And remember, on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Yeah, good. How you going, Pandy?
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Shaping lives through nursing? Building communities through community services? Maybe caring for animals through veterinary science? With GoTAFE by your side, you can make it happen. From agriculture, hospitality, health and wellbeing, trades and education, to hair and beauty or creative, learn real skills for real jobs and careers right now. With GoTAFE, you've got this. Search GoTAFE today.
2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community. .0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or...
Life to the fullest. Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Half price until half time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half price selected beers until half time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.
Close game of footy, three-quarter time, the last change here at Martin Park in Wodonga. Round 2 SS&A Ovens and Murray action. The Saints 34 trailed the Wodonga 22. It was only a 3-goal quarter in that third term, but it's evenly poised as we go to Sprinkles Freak. Brad Sprinkles Freak, yes, that's your name.
Yep.
For our
Case off goal.
Yeah,
In that third quarter, we have to start with the Wodonga Bulldogs side of the thing. That's get him a little bit of space. You just see he's back. It's really nice. The Myrtle Matty Munro, just they really missed his run and he's used to the footy over the last couple of seasons. So fantastic for him to be back in their side in the competition. If we have a look at our stat sheet for term, as you said, Jack O'Sullivan had this. If we look at our leading disposal, Daly's had 25. Murphy Dale's had 12 for Matty Munro. A lot of things. Josh May disposals. Jack and Adam a lot in the 40-40, so both teams have had a feel like whatever team can capture opportunities today.
As she has been out, pretty windy though, but the respective coaches.
Yeah, it's not raining, guys. I did head over to the mill to see what they had to say as I had a little bit of that pizzazz taken out of the game. That coaching staff just really touched on those opposition marks that they had them down quite low in the first quarter and getting those spoils in. He also wants them to run, open dogs, be clean and take risks.
Around the grounds, three-quarter time in the SS&A Ovens and Murray. Albury up by 60 over the Rovers, 86, Cora Rutherglen 28. 55 apiece at Button Park between North Guys and Yarrawonga comfortably by 5. Here's Luke Francis, fourth term underway. Will it be with us on O&M Live?
Yeah, Panda, who's going to go to a final term to take away the mark? Here we go, Will Bradshaw, and he goes and sends it forward for the doggies. Oh, over the toss, He's taken a mark early, Freaky, so this would be good for the maroon and white.
Yeah, it certainly would be. Really just get their nose out to that 14-point margin early in this third term. The one change I did notice already for Myrtleford, it looked like Simon Curtis had gone into the middle of the ground in that first centre, the ball up there. He hasn't spent a lot of time in the middle of the ground, so get his bigger frame in and around the footy where it needs to be is one move that Craig Miller and the coaching staff of the Saints have pulled.
Noah Spiteri loves a goal, and that is a heavy understatement. Sends it down to the line. It's hit the post. It's hit the post. So 43 plays 34 on the work locker Wangaratta scoreboard. Early days here, final term. Del Bosco to bring it in from the fullback position.
He certainly is. So 43 plays 34. And as Lukey Francis just said, ball now camped on the far side of the ground. Les Cheesley side, centre wing. Sending it long inside forward 50 was Johnson. And Del Bosco intercepting once again for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. His numbers, Brad Sprinkles, Freak.
Mitch Del Bosco up to 15 disposals today.
Playing a lot in defence. Made that move probably second half of last year, I reckon, Lukey.
Yeah.
And he's done it pretty well ever since. Just a bit of leadership down there. And I really like the look of this kid. Zach Pethbridge, I should say. As he goes short to Curtis. His kick finds Diesel Beatty. So they have exited D50 here, the Saints. Still in their own defensive half. Half back. Broadcast side. Sun's shining here at Martin Park. Beatty finds Booker, who wants a 50. I reckon he dropped that himself. Oh, the umpire fell into that one.
He was a bit blindsided there, but certainly from our spot, it looked like he was trying to handball.
So Booker plays on straight away from the 50. Jorgensen come off his line brilliantly to intercept what was going to be a certain mark to Capillari, and then follows up with a wonderful defensive tackle, but it's deemed in the back. The Dogs fans don't like it. A free kick to Myrtleford in the centre of the ground against Jorgensen. It's going to go the way of Tyler Harrington. Dogs by 9.
Listen to the crowd, aren't they lifting here at Martin Park? And he goes long here to Tyler Harrington inside 50. Ball hits the deck. Booker getting his hands on the footy early in the final term. High ball down to the pocket. Murphydale put it to deck. Ollie Greenhill sees it across the chalk with Riccardi. And we will have a boundary throw in. Sky, that wind picking up again.
It is. I'm literally just chasing rubbish along the ground here that's fallen off. That's how windy it's getting down here.
Ah, very nice. Here we go. Boundary thrown in the pocket. Elm Street and far side Driscoll. Try to get rid of Gribben. Jack O'Sullivan working hard whistle. Holding free kick. And it's going to go the way of Jack O'Sullivan.
Been good
deep
today.
In the back pocket. He has been freaking, in fact, to Driscoll and back to O'Sullivan.
Bit going on off the ball, boys. Oh, there was just a punch in the gut by Fraser Dale.
Alrighty, so we're going to have to watch that one. So it looks like Dan Wortman was slow to get off, and he just gave Capillari a little clip as well. So heating up, that's what we like to see. Means a lot to both of these sides, the win today. It's Tommy Johnson down the wing. Chisels it beautifully to half forward. I've liked the look of Riley Gill today at times. Dropped the mark, but he goes back to O'Sullivan there. Moving the ball down the wing, and Wilding just ran out of turf. And it's gone out of bounds. Just half forward here for the Dogs. They're kicking to the hospital end here at Martin Park. They lead by 9 points. 43 plays 34. Goals are gold in this game. There's only been 10 of them, Lukey Francis, for Wang Motor Group.
There has Panda. About to come back into play here. Josh Mathy Snuck one to Jorgensen, and he swung around. Freaky, what do you got for us?
Yeah, Jack O'Sullivan, the coach, already up to 3 disposals in this last quarter on the 40-wing stat sheet.
It's been outstanding this afternoon. Jack O'Sullivan. Here's Cossett and Johnson. Ball hits the deck. Gets out the other way, Capillari, and then tried to play for it. Soroczynski picks it up, spins it around. Was he taken high? Umpire said play on Mayfield. Now Will Bradshaw, he goes in. Gee, it's tough in the clinches now. It is hot at the coalface, and the umpire is going to call for it. 43 plays 34. The Doggies up on their home turf on the Wodonga at a scoreboard. Macca's time clock has gone almost 5 final term.
It has indeed. As Cossa wins the free kick, the tap out, I should say. The Saints stream away from the contest. Ball on centre wing. Driscoll just overran the footy. Saints happy to see it over. Right in front of Sky Burgess. Boundary side for Elite Building Construction.
Bit going on down here, boys. I was just keeping an eye on an injury. We've had Myrtleford's Riley Calvin off with a thumb injury. So he said he got it caught in a jumper, in a tackle, and he's just had it taped and gone back out.
Beautifully done, Sky, for Elite Building and Construction. Del Bosco back into the hole and dropped an easy chest mark. Tommy Johnson, beautiful kick to Wilding, playing in front of Hourigan. Time and space for the first time for the Dogs for a while, and he's going to line up 45 out pretty much directly in front.
Yeah, Tommy Johnson with ball in hand is a beautiful user and found Oscar Wilding there.
So he's going to line up for the all-important first goal, and his first of the day. He snuck it in, Wilding. Celebrates hard, a very important finish. 6-13-49 over the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, 5-4-30.
Has a beautiful left leg, doesn't he? Just being able to find the right target and just have a bit of poise in that situation there. And as you say, Panda gives the Dogs a 15-point buffer 6 minutes into this last term.
Yeah, 3 goals the margin. Let's see if the Saints can respond. Need the next one to try and claw their way back into the contest. The Dogs with the upper hand at the moment. Back in the centre. And Cossett, will Driscoll just let him have a run at the ball? And Munro comes out of the middle, sends it forward over the back. Charlie Morrison takes the mark. So Driscoll, not the best ruck work in the middle there, Freaky, just giving his opponent a free run at it.
Yeah, he certainly did. And that's what can happen sometimes against the Dogs without having a number one real ruckman. They just can get eaten out in the middle of the ground sometimes.
Wartman, true half-back flank for the Doggies. Down to centre wing, picks up Jet Cassidy. Been a little quiet today, Jet. By his standards, into Jorgensen. Very clever player, and away he goes. Panda as he angles inboard to Will Bradshaw.
So Will Bradshaw marks. Edge of the square. Far side of the ground. 49 plays 34. Saints need the next. Wilding, his opponent Pethbridge went to ground. Inside 50 here for the Dogs. Is there a high free kick there against the Dogs? No. Spiteri swinging over the shoulder. I reckon he's almost snuck it in. Minor score. Noah's kicked 2 goals 4 today. So he's had 6 shots on the stick. He's nailed 2 of them, Noah. He's very dangerous. So 50 plays 34. 16-point lead to the Dogs. Work like a Wodonga at a scoreboard as we tick up towards the 10th minute mark, final term.
Yeah, he only needs half a chance, Noah Spiteri, and he'll have a shot on goal. A real opportunist. Now Matt Wilson.
Pushing the back, Lockie. Oh, sorry, Lukey.
That's right, Freaky. So it goes to Simon Curtis, and he goes out wide. The ball is with Damon Harrington, shifts it down the line. This is Collegiero.
Good kick.
To the half-forward flank. Maraca has it. So they're working it forward nicely. Around the outer side. They need an entry here. They get one. Murphy Dale. Well done. Nearly brought it in the second attempt. Soroczynski. Maraca plays on. Thought he got taken high around the chops. Morrison back there as he does. Just guarding the gate, and he sends it out to Miller.
You get Sky to watch Murphy Dale, who stayed down on the ground for quite a while, Lockie Murphy Dale. It looks pretty sore as the Dogs exits the fence through Jorgensen. Down the wing, Redcliffe not able to mark against Tyler Harrington. You don't see him kick on the right foot often, Ethan Redcliffe. Coming in and taking a wonderful mark, Winter Irving at half forward. And a terrible kick inside 50. Pethbridge with the defensive pickup. Maraca over the top on centre wing. Up against Miller, but the Dogs win it back through Winter Irving. Kicks it to a pretty open goal square. It's going to roll all the way through. I think it has! Winter Irving with some sort of finish from 60 metres. It beat all players running back to the face of goal, and it's dribbled through from 60. Wow, what a finish from Winter Irving. The Dogs out by...
It's going to be really, really hard now for the Saints to come back in this game. They've got to kick 4 goals to be able to get in front of the game. They've only managed to be able to kick 5 for the day, so they're going to have to basically double their score in the last 15 to 20 minutes of this game to get in front and to win this game of footy.
Yeah, you're right, Freaky. So we return to the middle. What a goal from Kyle Winter Irving.
It certainly wasn't his intention, I think, Luke Francis.
You're right, Peter. Just had the legs, just keep rolling and rolling. Here's Miller. High ball. Let's have a look who's under this. Up comes Jack O'Sullivan. Good mark. That's a beauty. Just in front of Riccardi. He just holds it up for a little, trying to gain his composure. As Driscoll comes to the bench for the Dogs, sends it inside 50 O'Sullivan, and Winter Irving has taken another mark. That may have been too easy, Freaky. That's a big mismatch. So Capillari on Winter Irving. He plays on quickly, sends it into Spiteri. Good hands, and he takes the mark.
Yeah, I think Ferguson just lost touch with him. He fell over, actually, and Winter Irving was the beneficiary of Ferguson falling over, Freaky, and he was all on his own.
Yeah, it was a really smart kick too by Jack O'Sullivan. You can get sucked in with the big breeze like they've had today, that they're going to go long, but lowered his eyes and was able to find Winter Irving. And Winter Irving doing the same thing again, being able to find Noah in the forward pocket.
Yeah, he's a live wire. Noah, here he goes. He's going to steer through another one, is he? Kept it low. He's missed that one.
2-5.
Yeah. Been a little off target today, but you'd rather have him in your team than not. He can really make something out of nothing.
He can indeed. So the Dogs by 23 points. Work like a Wenger at a scoreboard. You think they may have just done enough. The other close game in the SS&A Ovens and Murray, North Albury 67 over the Wang Magpies 61. 10 minutes played in the last term there at Button Park as Riley Calvin streams forward for the Saints. Hand passes over the top. Here's a bit of open play. Miotto hand passes it on to his teammate, which is, I think it's Harrington, is it? It's through for a goal. So the Saints get one against the run of play, and it's through for a goal. I reckon it is Damon Harrington,
yep.
I think.
Probably one passage in this second half that they've been able to get a real transition and get into a bit of space and be able to get out the back of the Dogs and put it on the scoreboard. So you're going to have to see a bit more play like that as well going through this last quarter if the Dogs are to win this game.
Yeah, so it's back to 3 goals. And the Mountain Men need the next major. So can they get 2 in a row to keep their chances alive here in round 2 in the O&M? Johnson, good palm off. And now he sends it forward here for the Bulldogs. Redcliffe at the back. Spiteri, he was mopping up. Gets out the back. And that was Diesel onto Sparks. A little wayward with the kick. And gets it on to Collegiero. Sends it up the middle. Saints about a 3-on-1 here. And then gets out the back. Riccardi hasn't seen much of the footy today and gets it off to Damon Harrington. He's away. Sends it down with the left foot to the arc of the 50. Bouncing ball. Deneen came out, goes again. Well done, Mitch Deneen. Then thought he caught one a little high. Umpire said play on. Out the back to Jack Mathy, and away they go.
Sends a big torpedo punt to half forward. Big fist there from Horrigan. That's a mark. So he fisted it and then marked it as it came down. Little short one. Finds Fraser Dale. His number's Brad Freak.
Coming up for his 26th of the game.
Defensive side of the centre square. Goes out wide, far side. To Del Bosco. Beautiful kick inboard. Finds Riccardi. 2 goals early. Been a bit quiet since. Plays on straight away. Kicks long into attack. Genuine 1-on-1. Booker up against Morrison. Morrison with a fist in defence, as he does so often. And Liam Andrews brings it out to the broadcast back flank. Just bounces in front of Jack Mathy. Josh Mathy is happy to see it over the boundary line for a throw-in. Just in the attacking half of the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. They've kicked the last, but they still trail by 17. 57-40 on the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard. We've played 13 minutes Macca's time clock.
Just see the Saints have just gone a little bit more corridor in the last few minutes. They were able to get that last goal going through the corridor, and you just know that they're looking inside at every opportunity they can now.
Costa and Johnson. Miotto. Oh, well done. Just got it to Diesel. Bodie Munro's gone cold. Jack O'Sullivan playing a fantastic game. He's going to go close to the 3 votes in the Morris Medal this afternoon.
He's up for his 6th disposal in the last quarter as well on the 40-wing stat sheet. It takes him up to 24 for the match.
Great work from Brad Freak on the 40-wing stat sheet.
His disposal's been brilliant today, Lukey.
Wheels around, Wilding does panic, tries to get Redcliffe, couple of bites, put it to deck. Hourigan working away, held up. Umpire's going to have it. 17-point margin. The Bulldogs lead here. We've gone 14 last term on the McDonald's time clock.
All thanks to Cavalier Homes and Wang Motor Group on OMFNL Live. Wonderful supporters of 3&E. As Tommy Johnson has gone into the ruck. Munro ekes out a clearance, but it's only as far as Soroczynski. I reckon that went about 8 metres. Soroczynski, half forward, sells a little bit of candy and pumps it long. Look at the wind, bring that back towards the face of goal. Beautiful mark, Ferguson. Sticks up the Duke, says, I'll have a piece of that. Defensive mark for the Saints. And he goes out wide to Riccardi in front of the scoreboard. Loops a hand pass over the top to Del Bosco. And here come the Saints down the far wing.
Mitch Del Bosco finds Calvin. Now what's he got on? Yotto was calling for a back in the middle, goes further down the line. Tyler Harrington put the ball to ground. In fact, that's Damon working hard out there against Matt Wilson. At the back to Deneen, then on to Driscoll. Over the top to Wilson again. So a looping hand pass. And coming at him at Lee Murphy-Dale. Now he plays on. Here Matt Wilson goes to a bounce. That was good. Gained some territory for the maroon and white. Down the line to Johnson, who came out hard. Trickling back to Wilson, so about 3 or 4 possessions in that last 30 seconds. Now to Jorgensen. He's trying to weed through Saints traffic, took them on, and then gets a short one out wide. And here they come now through Josh Mathy.
Mathy, beautiful kick in the 50. It could have been Redcliffe or Bradshaw, take your pick. Noah Bradshaw running towards the goal, took the chest mark. And if he kicks this one, I reckon he'll put the result beyond doubt. He'll kick from 50. But he's got the breeze directly in front, Brad Freak.
Yeah, they've just been a little bit more composed going to the forward 50 this last term. The Wodonga Bulldogs taking their 5th mark inside their forward 50, which is their quarter high in this game.
So Noah Bradshaw, not his greatest effort, through for a minor score in the end. 58 plays 40. It's an even 3-goal margin, favouring the Dogs on the Worklocker Wangaratta scoreboard. 16 played. Macca's time clock, final term.
Blustery. Hold on to your hat, say, Sky.
Absolutely, Lukey.
Half forward flank for the Bulldogs, half back for the Saints. Oh, Miller intercepts the kick from Fraserdale. Blue boots by Miller, and then sends it forward again for the Bulldogs. And then ball hits the deck. Sparks gets it out. Maraka takes the mark here. So the Saints have it. A trail by 18 points in the final term. We're about just over the halfway mark on the McDonald's time clock. And this ball's going to be tied up, is it? Yeah, umpire's going to call for it, Freaky.
Yeah, if we go around the grounds in the Ovens and Murray in the close game at Bunton Park, North Albury out to a 12-point lead in that game, 73-61.
Around the grounds for Wang Mazda. And an 18-point lead here to the Dogs, 58-40. Will Bradshaw done about a 720 there, lucky not to get paid holding the ball. Umpires letting it go in this last term, which is, I think the umpiring's been really good today. Been very good over the first couple of weeks in the Ovens and Murray. They're doing a great job. Ball up, just inside the centre square here. Forward to centre just for the Dogs. Booker working hard in defence here for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Kick out wide, looking for Maraka, is not good. It's out of bounds for a throw-in. So the Saints need 3 goals in 7 minutes of footy. Brad Sprinkles, Freak, are you giving them a chance or not?
Well, they're going to have to be able to move the ball quickly. That's one thing they can do, is move the footy quickly. They're going to have to open up the game somehow. The Dogs are just so well drilled. They've got Michael Driscoll, just a man by himself, kick behind the play. So any quick movement forward is probably going to get nullified.
Back into play, Johnson sends it down towards the pocket. Oh, big fist over the top from Pethiebridge. He's been good in the long sleeves today. So it's the Bulldogs by 18 here at Martin Park. At Bunton Park, the Hoppers up by 2 goals, and Tim Broomhead could find himself with a bronze statue at that ground during the week, Freaky.
Who knows?
It could be put up.
The committee might be able to work something out.
I reckon they will, Panda. I reckon they'll chip in.
55 around from the Dogs' goal.
Bronze statue for going 2-0.
Settle down, you two. They lead by 18. 18 played in the last quarter for McDonald's. Here's Tom Miller. His numbers, we're not keeping his numbers, Brad Freak, are we?
No, he didn't.
He's been better today.
He has. Last week, they didn't know where his right position was. They started him in the midfield, and he ended up down across half-back as well, but looks like they found a bit of a home for him today.
So the Dogs doing it pretty comfortably here. They've been the better side in the second half. Lead by 3 straight kicks. Del Bosco trying to break through a tackle, working hard in defence, ball up. This is where we start thinking about our Wang Motor Group Player of the Day, Harvey Norman Betting Player of the Day. A few contenders. We'll ask Brad Freak and Sky Burgess who they're thinking about soon. Fraser Dale with a hand pass out to Jorgensen, swooping on this footy. Beautiful little kick in board, looking for Mathy. Intercepting well there was Ferguson. In fact, it was Jai Gribben. Sorochinski, Diesel Beatty for the Saints. Del Bosco trying to, don't argue, Wilding, who wrapped him up beautifully. Ball dispute, 30 out from the Dogs' goal. Kick out of midair from Sorochinski is rolling, it's hitting the behind post. It's out of bounds. 19 played last term. Dogs by 18, 7-16-58 over the Saints, 6-4-40. Here's Luke Francis for Wangaratta Motor Group.
Yeah, if you missed the TJ Smith in Sydney, it was Chain of Lightning taking it out for Damien Lane and Peter Moody from Bella Nipotina, and I Wish I Win running third. Imperatriz, the great New Zealand mare, finishing fourth. Now here is East, and he gets it out to Collegiero, and they shift it down the line. Here's Driscoll, and then try to weave his way out of trouble. Ollie Greenhill back inside to Deneen. He gets it down the line to Josh Mathy. 58 plays 40. Work like a Wangaratta scoreboard. And the points look to be in the Bulldogs' keeping now. Might be in control. Johnson, what a mark. And that is a Mawson's Concrete mark of the day. A beauty here in the final term as we go back down to Sky Burgess for Elite Building and Construction.
I think he nearly took himself out, didn't he, boys? He hit the ground that hard. His head's hit the ground, so he's getting up pretty slowly. Do you back him in from here?
Yeah, why not, Sky?
I reckon.
Yeah, that's it. So, big TJ, Freaky, that was a beauty.
Yeah, it was a great mark there from Tommy, and as Sky said, he's usually a beautiful user with his left foot, so I'll be backing him in to get this one now. Watch him miss it as we've all backed him in, eh, Luke?
That's the way it works out, doesn't it, Freaky? 35-40 out here. Hospital Land, and this would seal the game. Put it on ice for the Bulldogs. Tommy Johnson comes in. He's missed it. We built it up, Freaky. We tried to get him home.
Tried our best.
We tried our best. Just didn't work out, Panda.
They always take the hanger. They usually miss the follow-up goal, don't they?
You're right. Yep.
Minor score, but it's put the Dogs 19 up, 59-40. They have 24 shots on goal. If they can even that up in terms of goals and behinds, they're going to really put sides away. They've dominated territory today. We'll get those inside 50 numbers soon as Jet Cassidy takes the intercept mark. It's lived inside the Dogs' forward 50 in this final term, all thanks to Cavalier Holmes.
Yeah, it certainly has. 16 inside 50s to 7 in this last term. They've had all the ascendancy, the Dogs, as you touched on before, Penny, is level at halftime, and they've just had more momentum, had been a better side in the second half here, and will deserve the 4 points.
So Jet Cassidy, got a bit of a quiet day for him, but doesn't need too many opportunities to impact the scoreboard. Drop punt on goal, always favoured the near side through for a minor. So 7-18-60. It's a 20-point lead over the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. 60 plays 40 on our Work Like a Wangaratta scoreboard. So we tick over 20 minutes played in this last quarter. We're doing it for Cavalier Holmes. 22 played. Luke Francis.
She doesn't the wind take them at that end. Really does curl the ball away. And how are we going, Freaky? Is that crane arriving at Bunton Park to erect the statue?
Oh, I have to check for you, Luke.
Thanks, Freaky. Rightio, Deneen. Oh, good mark. Half-back flank. He's been good today, Mitch. And then a bit of,
see the cramp.
Is that real cramp? Or?
Yeah, you can see that
cramp.
He
can't
yeah,
stand.
He's in trouble. My apologies, Mitch. That was real cramp.
Get a bit more coconut water, Mitchy.
And then off to Sorochinski. Oh, in two minds there, and turns it over to Curtis. They should get a goal here. Simon bounces towards goal. He doesn't miss. He's a class player, and they get one back. So, well, Sorochinski thought the switch was on, and then he changed mind halfway through his stride. And Sky, that was...
Down here with his boots off. He's grabbing at his hip. I think he's got an existing injury that's quite sore, so he's got his boots off already.
about that pickup from Simon Curtis below his knees there, and just the finish of a couple of steps, he showed his class. You just wonder, Pandy, if they could probably play him around the footy a little bit more throughout the whole game rather than just when they really need him.
60 plays 46. It was an open goal square, and he just measured it beautifully, Simon Curtis. So 14 points to the margin. They need the next one really quickly to give them any chance here, the Saints. Cassidy just tried to smother the ball. Curtis goes in again, shoots out a hand pass. Harrington onto Del Bosco, was brought down in a tackle. Good defensive pressure. O'Sullivan, was he grabbed high? Umpire said no. Goes inside 50 again. Spiteri right in front of the scoreboard. The entry from Jack O'Sullivan, a highlight once again, Brad Freak, and you'll line up tight up against the boundary. Yeah, well, you can see his class, really. When he gets in a little bit of space, he finds the right player at the right time. He's had 8 disposals in this last quarter, 14 in the second half. Really, when his team needed him, he's really stood up in this second half and delivered as the coach, and he's going to deliver in their first 4 points for the season. 60 seconds left, we believe. Spiteri, kicked 2 goals, 5. Now make it 2 goals, 6. So he's kicked a goal's worth of points. He kicked a couple of majors himself. 8 shots on goal for Noah. Margin out to 15 points. Dogs look home, Luke Francis.
They do, Panda. We should bring in that one on the scorecard next week. If you get a goal's worth of points, does that count as a goal? How's that one? I don't think so.
You can ask that one, Lukey.
Yeah, good point, Panda. That would get me a 0. Rightio. True centre wing, far side to the Doggies. I'll pick up the 4 here at Martin Park on a Saturday afternoon. A day at the kennel. Jack Matey. It's been handy. Down the line to Jack O'Sullivan, who I reckon he'd be favourite for the player of the day on OMFNL Live. And there's a siren. The home team gets home here at Martin Park. A great win for the Bulldogs, 7-19-61, and they've defeated the Saints 46. And the song about to be played here, Panda, and the crowd in the grandstand is pretty darn happy.
They are indeed. The Dogs record their first win for season 2024. They're off the mark with a gritty 15-point win over the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, 61-46. A reasonably good game of footy. It was a bit scrappy at times, but it won't matter for Jared Twitt. And Jack O'Sullivan just happy to get the win and kickstart their 2024 campaign. Brad Freak and Sky Burgess have gone down to the boundary to converge and muster up our Harvey Norman betting player of the day. A couple of contenders, Lukey. I thought Jack O'Sullivan was very good for the Wodonga Bulldogs. I thought in the midfield in the engine room, Jorgensen was good off half-back.
Yep.
Spiteri had 8 shots on goal, so a few contenders.
Absolutely, Panda. Yeah, as you said, Noah Spiteri, so dangerous in that forward 50. A lot of shots on the sticks. But if I had to lean towards one, and we must say I don't have the vote here, Panda, as you said, Sky and Freaky making their way out, I would lean towards Jack O'Sullivan myself. And the second game in a Bulldogs Guernsey, and the club would be most impressed with his effort, the co-coach.
He was certainly fantastic. I don't want to steal Brad Freak's thunder and grab his stat sheet over your shoulder, Lukey, so I'll wait for him to come back up here.
Yes.
And we'll just turn that microphone off as we decide. 61-46. A big win to the Wodonga Bulldogs here on 15-6-3-E's O&M Live.
Now, did they get home the Hoppers?
I'm not
Panda?
sure.
We'll get those
Francis.
other scores
so
very shortly. Yep.
The score at the moment between North Albury and Wangaratta for our Wangaratta-based listeners, 74 North Albury, 63 Wang Magpies, make that 64. So the Hoppers up by 10 points. Late stages in the final term there at Bunton Park.
Right. So Sky Burgess and Freaky down on ground level. We'll see who they pluck out. And I reckon Freaky is heading towards Mitch Deneen, is he? No, Jack O'Sullivan's being interviewed by Andrew Moyer.
He is.
From the Border Mail.
So I reckon they're waiting for Jack O'Sullivan.
Yeah,
that's my bet. They're waiting for Jack O'Sullivan. And there you go, final score. North Albury have defeated the Wang Magpies by 10 points.
Wow, that is a big win. That is a big win. How long since that's happened, Panda?
First time since 2016.
Wow, 8 years.
So they're waking. Look at Andrew Moyer just holding up Jack O'Sullivan there, Fritter, as we try and interview Jack O'Sullivan as well. So he is certainly our Harvey Norman betting player of the day. That's what it looks like to me, Jack O'Sullivan. So he's going to do a double-up interview here. Look at this. He won't like it.
Well, it's a Mawson's concrete player of the day. Let's put it down as that.
Let's put it down as that. Here we go. Jack O'Sullivan, our Harvey Norman betting player of the day. He's down there on the boundary with Sky Burgess. Nice and quick, Sky.
I do. I have new coach Jack O'Sullivan, Wodonga Bulldogs. How does that feel, mate, to get a win in a game that was so intense like that to start with?
Yeah, it was obviously hard for it at the start. We knew how important the game was after to make amends from last week. Obviously disappointing, but yeah, we knew they were going to come to play, and they certainly did. And we had to absorb a fair bit in that first half. Probably a little bit inaccurate. We didn't. But yeah, I thought we controlled territory really well, and we stuck to what we spoke about before the game really well. Probably a little bit of inaccuracy cost us, but I thought we finished the game really well. Our second half was a lot more like our brand, I think.
Yeah, you touched on it. You could tell how much both teams really wanted it. It was an awesome game to watch. They probably dominated a little bit at the start and were really well set up. What was your instruction to the boys at quarter time? Because you did really notice a change.
Yeah, we just sort of thought we had to tighten up a little bit. They committed a lot of numbers to the ball. So we just tried to ring them a little bit more and just back our man who's in, sort of not overcommit numbers to the contest. Sort of if there was one already down, we sort of wanted to make sure we'll back them to stick a strong tackle or win the footy and farm it out. And then we sort of wanted to get the game opened up a little bit and sort of use our pace, which we think is a bit of a strength of ours.
Yeah, beautiful. You've had back-to-back interviews, so I'll let you get in and celebrate with the boys. We might touch base again with you later on.
All right, too easy. Thank you. Thanks for that.
There you go. Jack O'Sullivan, very kind with his time. Back-to-back interviews. Our Harvey Norman betting player of the day, and he can go in and sing the song as a Wodonga Bulldog co-coach for the first time in those maroon colours. And we'll get Sky Burgess to go down into the rooms, and we'll try and get the song as we celebrate a Wodonga Bulldogs win by 15.61 to 46.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Shaping lives through nursing? Building communities through community services? Maybe caring for animals through veterinary science? With GoTAFE by your side, you can make it happen. From agriculture, hospitality, health and wellbeing, trades and education, to hair and beauty or creative, learn real skills for real jobs and careers right now. With GoTAFE, you've got this. Search GoTAFE today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community. .0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Half price until half time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half price selected beers until half time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.